actually built in bell curves, and I thought that that was a good touch. Because the 18s and 3s were really rare, but you can make something really special happen with them.
Who made Exalted?
Was that just a new company?
No, Exalted was a White Wolf, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so.
It definitely was a White Wolf. And
Maybe.
It was White Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Some of these
It
fall on your
entirely
side.
was.
What?
Some of these fall on your side.
Possibly. Everything's gone crazy. Hi, welcome to the
hello.
crazy train. I've been up for 100 years trying to get Twitch.com to work, but it does work, and here we are. I've got those 4 and 5.
Okay.
Right. Jeff, what are you drinking there?
This is coconut milk with pearls. With like pearls.
Well, that's just what we needed to get Squeaky Lobo to resubscribe. So, thank you.
I know what that boy likes. And it's making examples.
Squeaky says, Hoshnickety Stursteicity, it's Jesus Christ's AIDS Tweech Certs, Sababy Flights, Foxhoundsads 9 years of such sub. Am I's those mom? Oria's babies will be beautiful.
Wow.
Am I having a stroke?
Thank you, Squeaky.
Thank you, Squeaky.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Is he like probably trapped in Pontypool, the Pontypool universe? Like just everything?
Maybe.
I don't understand that reference.
It's a movie.
That's that movie
Check
you
it
should
out.
watch.
It's actually really good.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Do you
about
like horror movies at all?
Do you like Squeaky Lobo?
I have very big
No,
opinions
no.
about one of those two things.
Lobos, you're wearing a captain's hat. Tell us more about that.
Well, over the weekend I became captain from captain. Hey! I have to get a new one.
Hey guys, over the weekend I became a captain.
What captain school?
The school of fight me if you want your hat back.
Well, as a newly minted captain, obviously you still have the captain's oath memorized. Perhaps you'd care to give us a bit of that.
They do.
Okay.
Good start.
Nice. Nice.
Squeaky Lobo says, "Oh shit, I have to flip my fish." I don't understand what that means, but all of those words were real words. So I think it's safe to say that someone has hacked our friend Squeaky Lobo and has taken over their keyboard.
That or in moments of high stress, he speaks normally.
Oh, maybe. Well, we don't have time to get to the bottom of that mystery. We have another mystery to get to the bottom of.
Yeah.
What mystery is that? Where are you guys? What are you doing there? And
Dead.
what's going
We're on a
on?
boat.
Dead. You're all dead.
Yeah, remember our characters died last
Sky
time.
The whole campaign is just purgatory.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Sounds alright.
Oh,
We are on a skyboat.
Skyboat.
Was it the Gold Dragon?
The
Golden Dragon.
Golden
That's
Dragon.
correct. Sky Yacht.
Sky Yacht. Pleasure Yacht.
Sky-ya.
Everything was great. The captain was charismatic and wonderful and giving everybody a good time. There was warring kind of...
Can you elaborate?
no, actually.
Captain's prerogative.
There was a meeting room full of dudes
people.
that didn't like each other, or undead dudes and not undead dudes.
It's true. There were
Carnath and the
two.
Silver Flame?
That's correct. There were folks from the nations of Carnath and from Thrain that were there, both members of a diplomatic mission that seemed to be going absolutely nowhere. I'll get to a little bit more about who is in each of those as I threw around a lot of different names. But most notably, a scribe that you bumped into on your way onto the ship, Scribe Gunther, was discovered mysteriously dead in his cabin in the midst of the evening.
Do you think he just got pecked to death by those birds that were chasing him? Like, it's not a murder call.
You're
It was a murder of crows.
You're welcome to make a survival check to determine that for yourself.
I don't think I've even seen this body yet.
I
I think we left off with the body being
Yeah.
revealed. to
Yes.
us.
Yeah.
I think that given that you didn't quite know what the circumstances were, the first mate had come to wake up Ries. Ries waked up everyone else, and you have marched slowly, carefully, to the room where the body of Gunther lies, motionless on the floor.
Lynn is kneeling over, checking on him.
Excellent.
It made me
He
go in
he
this
totes dead.
He definitely seems to be dead, although at first glance you're not really sure why or how he is dead.
Yeah, I'd like to do. Can I do investigation on that?
You could do that. You could also do medicine? Is that
My-
okay? Yeah.
My investigation is better.
Okay.
Ix will take a knee on the other side of him and
Do the
do a
same.
similar check.
I think investigation
Oh,
works just fine.
10.
17 on medicine.
So neither of you are able to find any obvious external source of injury, although from the expression on his face, it looks like he was in a great deal of pain whenever he fled this mortal coil. That said, even with some sort of an internal injury or something like that, you'd expect like a sore or something, like if he had like an eruption, an ulcer that burst or something like that, you'd see some
There's like
trace
bruising.
of
There's yeah.
that. You don't see any of that.
what about the room itself? Should
Give
we
me-
separate roll?
Sure, investigation.
Yeah. 22.
22, pretty darn good. You give the room a quick shakedown, and you don't find terribly lot that's out of the ordinary, except in a chest sitting at the base of the man's cot, which looks like it can be locked but was recently unlocked. There is a small silver necklace with a ruby set in the base of it.
What about this this necklace here? This is a little odd. The chest looks like it was unlocked. I don't know if he normally kept it locked or not, but it's a bit strange.
It's still here, so it wasn't raw.
Well, actually, before anyone touches it, let's make sure it's not magical, and I'll do detect magic.
Sure.
Can I do, while he's working on that, excuse me, I got a drink that I had to chew, so it would be extra hard for me to play today. Can I do a survival check on him just to see if he has any signs of like subtler signs of any poisons I would know?
Sure.
Or anything like dilates his eyes or like has a sore in the back of his throat. or
Absolutely.
something.
Roll that up while I talk to Ark.
Yeah.
Ark, so you detect magic and you get sort of like a response that would otherwise give you sort of some question marks over your head, where it's not magical, but it's not magical either. Except that this matches the aura that you saw on the idol, which Sigurd is taking care of, in that it is not itself necessarily a source of magical power, but it looks like it could be a conduit for magical power.
Right.
What did you get, X?
16.
16. You check the eyes, check the gums, check the tongue, that kind of thing. You don't find any obvious traces of poisons.
Well,
I'm gonna look at the position of the body
Okay.
and see if there's like, what was he doing something when he keeled over, or did he like stagger in pain a few steps from something? Like try and sort that out.
Sure.
Investigation 26. Ooh. I'm sort of trying to like replay his last moments as best as I can.
Yeah.
so about the necklace, it doesn't look like it's still magical, but it could possibly be like a channel or a font for magic, or something could kind of come through it. But it itself, it doesn't appear to be magical in nature, so it's a bit odd.
Strange that it was left here.
Yeah.
Is the necklace recognizable in any way? Like something that somebody or some people would wear?
Give me a history check.
No.
Or whatever.
Who else is here, by the way? Is it just us?
It's you and her name is Mazia Delandar. She is the first mate.
Okay.
I got a 9.
No,
That's not it.
it is
That's not it.
unfamiliar to you.
Okay.
But she's sort of watching the door to make sure that no one else interferes with you guys. So you don't find anything like position-wise, other than the fact that he seemed to be in a great deal of pain before he collapsed to the floor. However, on his palms you see what looks like maybe like dust, sort of glittery dust, almost as if like it had been smashed in his hand at the moment that he seized up.
I'm gonna look around to see if I can find, like, are there larger shards of a thing that he was holding? Did he break something?
Not that you can see, it just seems to be local to his palms.
Ark's gonna take the stone actually and kind of talk to it and just kind of. Also, worth mentioning is the thing, the jewel. It's like the statue we found earlier. I didn't want to say that out loud just in case anyone's listening in, I guess. But it's a lot similar to that, and the message cuts off because I'm at my limit.
I'm gonna point out the dust on the hands, just so the party's aware.
I'll respond with, wasn't that the statue, wasn't it specifically like a necromantic sort of magic that it was capable of channeling? Or something related to that?
Is that accurate?
Still in that territory. You guys got to figure that one out for yourselves.
The idol specifically was necromantic, however, the necklace doesn't necessarily give you that information.
Yeah.
Only that it is more of a conduit.
I think Ark will just say out loud. It doesn't appear necromantic in nature.
I'm gonna pat him down and sort of just like scan the room too. Does he? Anything that she finds of note, great. But what she's really looking for is his transcripts. If he still has possession of those.
His transcripts.
He was logging the
scribing
meetings.
the meeting.
Yeah.
Oh,
He is
yes.
a
Okay.
scribe.
Yes, absolutely. Those are here in the room. They are off to the side in that chest at the base of his bed.
I'll flip through them to see if they're up to date or if there's any missing.
As far as you can tell, they are up to speed. There's not a whole lot of content within them.
Yeah.
Here it's early in
Angry
the
grunt, angry grunt.
it's early in
angry
the
grunt.
mission, and people hate each other. So
I hate this person.
So the necklace was on top of the notes?
It was in the
it's sort of like a stronghold. That's just sort of like he packed all of his clothes in there, his equipment for
So it's got
scribes and
multiple
stuff.
compartments?
Yeah.
Like a trunk.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just a trunk. It's just like
Okay.
divided up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maddie will turn to the first mate and ask, so how'd you find out this had happened?
One of the Medine guards spotted him.
Did they mention him that, spotted him, so the door was just open?
Yes.
Interesting. Maddie will check the locks on both the door and the chest to try and tell if they were picked recently or if the key was used.
Sure.
I'll look at Art, be like, "Hey, baby doll," I'll sort of point at the glitter on his hands that she found, and be like, "You picking up anything from that?"
It's not clear.
What's that?
Can I?
This-
Oh,
Sorry.
Part of that, I think, is that these doors and the chest are practically brand new. If anything, they don't have any kind of signs of wear and tear on them.
How difficult does it look like they would be to pick if Maddie had to pick them?
Not terribly hard. However, you'd need to be of a skill, maybe a degree higher than Maddie, to pick it and completely leave it clear of any sign that someone picked it.
If they were picked, somebody was good at it.
Or were you asking?
Yeah.
if there was, I suppose, any traces, like of someone having like entered or exited the room, like I could look around.
Signs of forced entry or exit, like that.
Or even just like, I don't know what sort of what's the floor made of? Is it just wood or metal?
It is wood, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if there would be like there's not really going to be like footprints per se.
That's better. Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Nix is
You know,
here.
any scuffing, any just evidence that someone had traveled that direction.
Sure.
Would that be investigation?
I think you could reasonably make that as either perception or investigation.
Well, perception, I have a bigger bonus for.
Yeah.
So let me
Perception
look
is
at
you're
that.
looking for something that you
Yes.
don't know is there.
All right, that is a total of 21.
You find nothing, but in that nothing you find something. Best DM ever.
I love this game.
It's not only that there's no sign of forced entry or anything like that, but it looks as though this guy probably came back after the conference and then didn't leave his room for the rest of his life.
I will share that with
The
you.
dream.
Yeah.
It was the guard that found him. What's his name?
Tomas, probably.
Yeah.
So-
Names and questions that GMs hate.
They,
Hey,
they all
NPC,
look-
it's not relevant. What's their name?
There's centuries.
And backstory.
They all look alike.
So Ix was having him check out the sparkle glitter on the hands to see if that's magical.
There's
Since
any
he has
magical
detect magic
traces
gun.
from it, yeah.
There's no magic there.
No, no. Whatever this is, it's not magical. But be careful touching it, of course, but...
Yeah. I'll try to like scrape a little bit into a bag. Is it like embedded in his hand, or can I brush some off?
It's more like glitter in that it's like there was something there and now it's impossible to get off.
Right. Okay.
You could probably get a couple of filaments, but like actually like cleaning it off is going to be
that's not gonna
a
be
day's
What
worth of
will we
work.
do to identify that? What sort of knowledge would that perhaps be?
Uh,
or should we try and think
I
that out?
mean,
So
I could see medicine.
Does it look like he was intentionally handling this in his hands and he broke the container by accident when he gripped it too tight, or
if that is the case,
there would have been larger shards?
there
of
would seem to be
glass.
more that's missing. So it could be that there were those shards and they are missing now.
Nobody's found a key to that chest, right?
No, no one's found a key thus far.
Yeah,
That
and
key
I
ain't
searched his
here.
body, so.
That key ain't here. I'd love to know where it is.
Oh wait, did you say you searched his body? in particular?
Yeah, I mean, when she was
Yeah.
looking for his records, like I didn't say she was going to pat him.
Okay, so he has a couple of things in his pocket.
Yeah, yeah.
One of which is the key to his trunk.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I'll be like,
Mystery solved!
yeah, but not so fast. I'll sort of pull the key out of his pants.
Oh.
What else does he have?
He has.
Coin, take it.
He does have a coin.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Are we group stashing yet, or did you stash that?
Well, we'll say, I don't know if the first mate is
true.
not going to rob the body.
Well, she's watching the door.
Yeah, I'll pocket that.
Just
Alright.
hide it under your captain's hat.
Yeah.
No one can search the captain. It's
Right.
maritime law.
Just make sure it doesn't fall off.
You can't accuse one captain of a crime committed by another captain. That's the law.
It's the rule of the sea.
It's the rule of the sea. So you also find a small book, like very, very small, just like the size of a poem or something like that, that it looks like he was using as sort of a guide for the different birds that he was seeing day to day.
Aww, that's adorable, and now I'm sad.
Was the last one like
This is a
glitter
nice
explosion bird?
Yeah.
Like,
It was a rock. It was a rock.
The rare sparkle murder bird.
yeah, exactly.
I'll bring that back to my quarters. Yeah.
Poison Quetzalcoatl.
Ix will sort of like finger through it just out of not really like hunting for anything. She'll just sort of flip through it. But,
Sure.
Yeah, unless there's anything that stands out.
So
Granted, I mean, she was a hunter. Like, she does know a thing or two about birds, but if that's relevant.
the bird stuff seems pretty innocuous. However,
Great.
he does seem to have taken the opportunity to like scribble like a couple of journal notes to himself over the previous days. And it seems like he's been like pretty anxious about this idea of like his embassy basically interfacing with these people from Thrain, and especially over the past couple of days, once he's actually met them, feeling like he might be in danger, that they might be brought to some degree of violence, maybe even provoked by his own ambassador. Because after all, they brought a bunch of skeletons on board.
Yeah.
These people only want to murder us.
So wait, is Karnath the undead ones
Yeah.
or the
Karnath is the undead ones,
Okay.
and Thrain is the silver flame
And
ones.
this guy worked for Karnath, though.
Yes. So I have a few small little slips, just so people
Oh.
can keep them a little bit more.
Oh, good. Some cheat
Oh,
sheets.
nice.
Just a little bit of cheat sheets. So Scribe Gunther is dead. He's the one that's marked as dead. He worked for Karnath.
See you in hell.
Also working for Karnath are Ambassador Sledge Avadaran and Skarad, the Captain Skeleton.
So where is he?
Is it rooms?
Rooms?
First deck?
First deck rooms, yes.
Dead.
Dirge.
So there's Captain Skeleton, and he commands a battalion of maybe about a half dozen other non-sentient skeletons.
Where was his patrol, roughly?
He was mostly patrolling this floor, but every now and then he would venture
over
to
here,
the
like the
lower
Karnath
floors.
zone. Team Karnath.
And for that matter, you haven't heard him or any of the other skeletons patrolling the hall anytime recently.
Maybe they're taking a nap that skeletons are known for.
Maybe.
That's really weird, actually.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
skeleton.
So stepping back a little bit, what is...
Let me finish this
Oh,
real quick.
sorry.
So on the other side of the deck is Cardinal Bethed, who is the leader of the Thrain delegation, and he is attended by two knights of the Silver
That's the
Flame,
other side of the...
Sir Brant and Dame Kelm.
Rooms, right?
Oh.
These are the humorless paladins that attended the cardinal and the conference.
Otherwise known as the paladins.
Yeah,
They're on this side.
I think it's this is Thrain and this is Karnak.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Let's just
Sorry.
put them on
These
the
guys
side.
are
Oh.
here. This is the captain.
Captain.
And
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's where you guys
They
are.
are. They are closer together than I imagined them.
Yeah.
Poor planning there, somebody.
Let's
Well,
Big shit, but yeah.
Hey, Captain Ries, what were you
Well,
thinking?
keep in mind that's still like 100 feet across. This isn't like a
It's like a
square is a
separator.
5x5. This
Oh.
is definitely not to
Yeah,
scale.
yeah,
Man, these rooms
Yeah.
are awful.
Remember, this is the size of a yacht. It's like a carnival like
It's a cruise ship.
type thing. Yeah.
Oh.
But that said, you don't have Titanic-like numbers of people on board. This is its maiden voyage. There's this, and then there's like the other dozen people on board, and then there's a dozen Madani guards, and then there's the crew, which is pretty small.
Yeah, Ix will just, I
I'll
mean,
have-
she'll mention in passing. She'll be like, well, it sounds like he was pretty spooked by the silver flame, but also duh.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. What will we do to identify the dust on the hands? Like, is there anything we can do to figure out more than that? Is there a roll that?
Would that be like Arcana or Medicine?
I think you'd need an Arcana check, excuse me, to pull that off. Given present circumstances, you're not especially equipped to make that kind of analysis. However, there is an artificer lab here on the ship that you might be able to use to facilitate that.
We've been warned it's staffed by Sir Grumpy.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can roll a 20 just to like be super impressive.
Sure.
8's not gonna do it. I don't know what this
What?
is. I just lick some of it. And no. No, I don't actually kill myself.
Scientific analysis there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there's a fellow artificer that'll warm up to me. It'll work out really well. We can use his lab and figure out what's going on.
Well, you don't have to be his friend to use his gear.
Reese will address the the first mate and just say, let's try and keep this quiet as we can. Tell the guard captain and try and keep a lookout for.
Where are those guards anyway? The skeleton ones? Weren't they always tramping around here?
They
Yeah, that's strange.
were. I'm not clear on where they are.
Has anyone checked on the rest of the Carnathi delegation?
Might not be a bad.
Yes, I sent several of them to attend to the rest to make sure that they're all right. But of course, now all of them want to know what's going on. I don't know that I'll be able to keep this under wraps. Maybe from the rest of the crew, but there's only so many of us, sir.
Tension seems
Things
to
can
get high.
get really messy, yeah.
Ix is gonna say, well, I'm gonna step out. I just have a bad feeling. I'm gonna swing by the other side of the ship and make sure that those skeletons aren't being sent out to do some retribution. I'll keep it quiet. I'll let you know if I need anything. And she'll tap her stone, and then she'll slip out.
She's safe.
Yeah, she's just gonna try to like stealth.
Jump off the ship. And swim
Yeah,
back
sure.
inside.
Fuck this! I got my coin. No, we can just stash that, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, Retribution's a paladin spec. Skeletons.
I throw an arc off the.
It was Kane the entire.
Yeah, she's just gonna try to. She's basically gonna try to stealth around the quarters and stuff, and just sort of like listen and look, and just make sure that she can't like catch anybody's response to this.
Sure.
But she's just gonna try to be quiet about it. She's not looking for any.
Give me a stealth check.
Confrontations. 26.
Ooh.
26 is pretty dang good.
I even rolled that high.
So sure enough,
Keep asking.
most of the Madani guards seem to be on watch in front of a lot of these individual folks' places. The other Carnathi folks are more just frustrated that they don't know what's going on. Skarad, in particular, is sort of not used to being told to just stand still. They don't seem particularly concerned with Gunther. They just,
Come on.
yeah. Or
Aw.
it doesn't even necessarily sound like they know that he's dead yet, though. But also, they don't really seem to care about him alive. On the other
They
side,
don't care about life. This
Yeah.
is like their quality.
They'll
they're
just
like,
res him and he'll
whew! He's gonna be so much better as a skeleton.
on the well, if you catch him in time to turn him into a skeleton, yes. On the other side, Thrain is suspicious that something is going on and that Karnath is behind it, because of course Karnath is behind it.
But nobody seems to be like.
Fighting
Yeah,
back.
nobody seems to be muttering about trying to cover things up, or like both sides seem equally surprised by what they're responding.
Yes,
to.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But again, neither of them really have the full story yet. It seems like they've
yeah, but
more...
if one of them killed them, they would have the whole story.
Sure. It's more like, it's the middle of the night. They're like more put out. What is the meaning of this?
Okay.
So what time was it when we were woke up? If we know that.
1 o'clock.
All right, 1 a.m. All right, and when
You're all still in your pajama jammies.
Yeah, when do we
To
suspect?
be fair, my pajamas look a lot like what I wear when I'm there.
Was there a way for us to suspect the time of death, or kind of?
You can suspect whatever you want.
what time did the conference
How
end?
could we determine that?
I'm sorry.
Could we roll to determine probable
Oh, yeah,
time of death?
like medicine.
You could if you had a better idea of what had killed him.
That's fair.
Well, there's.
But I will say that for being dead, he definitely doesn't seem to have decomposed to any great degree.
Is there any rigor?
Not really, no. So
Okay.
it's
Relatively
reasonable to
recently.
think it happened relatively recently. The conference ended before dinner, so it's been a number of hours since they
Do we
they
know
wrapped up.
when the conference ended?
Probably around, I'm going to say 6.
Time of death would be the last 7 hours then.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to like scrape off a sample of the glitter stuff?
Oh,
Past that.
Yeah.
it's already dead.
All right. Well, I guess we're cutting his hand off. I'm not dragging a corpse around.
Oh my god.
I mean, if you,
Captain's order.
it's definitely not impossible. It's just not a thing that's easily done. If you can think of a way to do it, then you're more than welcome to do it.
Could we?
Can we do an aqueous solution? You get some pure water,
Right.
dip a finger into it.
Okay,
and
that's
then
actually
stop
what
the
I was
process.
saying. Thank
All right,
you
well,
so much for
Both of you take a point of inspiration and
Who
tell me
wants
how
my
you do
point of
that.
inspiration?
I wouldn't mind it.
Okay.
Yay, thank you.
Pretty good.
Wait,
All right.
I don't have
which
glasses,
one
so I
of us was
can't.
part of the vote for this?
You and Lynn. I want
Yeah.
Lynn and Farron to both come to this realization and then work
Like
together.
we say it
to
at the
make
same
happen.
time, and then it's like,
And then
oh,
describe what it is you're actually doing for the rest of us.
we're gonna find a glass
Okay, you do.
of water,
There's a sink.
and then what we're going to do is
Full
we're
of
going
blood. It's not.
Oh, man, that would have changed everything.
It's just been like overflowing with blood the entire time.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't think to check this.
Well, no, that's just that side of the ship. That's not.
So what we're gonna do is it's pretty much covering the entire insides of his hands. Like he gripped a thing, and so it's on his fingers and stuff as well. But
Yeah.
so what we want to do is we want to take the hand by the wrist where it's not exposed to anything.
Uh-huh.
Dip one finger into the glass.
Uh-huh.
Let some of it sort of come off into the water, and then remove the finger. What that'll do is it'll put whatever the poison is into an aqueous solution. Hopefully, it won't react directly with the water.
Got it.
But even if it does, that tells us something, and that can be used by the Arcanist without us having to drag a corpse.
Yeah.
Cool. Smart.
Thanks, I was thirsty.
Okay, we all watch, waiting to see what happens. Was it the poison?
Ries grows a smaller second captain's hat.
I feel like there was a very clue moment in there, like maybe it was poison.
First mate said it was one of the mercenary guards or one of the skeleton guards that.
Mercenary guards. The skeleton guards don't seem to go on patrol, at least not around here.
All right, let's go talk to that guard who found the place.
1 second, I've got him on the thrains. She marches off, and before too long brings back a handsome, young, stern-looking, but maybe a little bit unnerved guard, Tomas of House Madani.
Ix will slip back in behind him. She'll like give it a look and then
What
form up with the curve.
what can I do for you?
Endeavor, Sweetwater, nice to meet you. When did you find the door open and the dead fella inside?
I was on patrol, midnight, my lord. Milady, excuse me. The door was cracked open, and I saw a form lying on the floor. I thought perhaps simply intoxicated. Cracked it open and found, well, as you see it.
So how often did your patrol take you past this particular door?
Well, I'd just come on duty, so we'd switched up guards around midnight. So this was the first time I was coming around to this particular length of the hallway.
Who was the guard before you?
Tomas the second.
Timas.
That-
Squared.
Jeremy.
That would have been Silas, milady.
Silas, huh?
Fuck you guys.
I tried. I gave a sincere real name.
I have names.
Oh.
No, I just
I
never
never
hate burning through names where they're like, but what is the name of the first 3 people who arrived? And
Well,
I'm like, John, Jim, Jimmy,
James.
and
Jingle
John.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Everyone in this
Jerry.
world is named Jerry now.
And you never, and I assume, of course, you never saw or heard anything weird during your patrol before, or you found the body.
No, certainly not. I'd been resting in anticipation of working the graveyard shift.
Speaking of that, were the skeletons on patrol?
If what you could call what they're doing patrol, no, sir. I saw them earlier during the daylight hours, but I haven't seen much trace of them now that the sun's gone down.
Another question for you about the patrol route. Assuming you hadn't found a dead body, how often would you have come by this door?
Maybe 20, 25 minutes a piece for the next few hours.
No, so pretty close to the end of your circuit then, by the sound of it.
Yes, indeed.
All right,
It's at the front of the ship, after all.
fair enough. Can you get the one who was on before you, Silas, in here, if you don't mind? Unless someone else got a question for Tomas.
I do. Do we know if he went to a dinner service or some kind, or if he had dinner in his room? Like, do they do catering to the rooms and then take the dishes away and stuff like that? I'm trying to determine last known time he would have been seen alive.
Both of those are known options aboard the ship. However, this guy wouldn't know that. He only works security. He's not even an employee of House Lyrandar. He's a
Okay.
contracted security guard.
Okay.
So he's literally just here to make sure no one kills each other. And he
Bad
failed.
Man, oh,
Fired.
was this his first day on the job?
Yes.
Oh no! We're really bad for people's job security. Like, we show up and, yeah.
I mean,
Well,
maybe they should stop letting people die on their vehicles.
There's not always a
Oh,
direct
you're not
cause
wrong.
and effect.
And the guard that you're talking about got drunk and was gambling
Wait,
on
hold on,
Jimmy.
hold on.
I'm not giving him any
That
kind
was
of pass.
entirely my fault.
No.
I got him drunk. I drugged him.
No one made him gamble on duty.
Once
He
he was
was
drugged.
drinking.
Yeah. Oh.
Anyway.
All of that was out of character.
He is.
Tomas is like, the hell?
It'll be a bit. I have to find Silas's cot and wake him up and explain the situation. But I'm sure he'll be willing to answer any questions.
Good, good. Anything else for Tomas here, or are we done?
I got nothing.
Alright, thank you.
Well, I mean,
Salutes smartly and slumps off dejectedly.
he said he didn't see anyone, right? Like, he didn't.
Yeah.
I assume that, but I don't know if we asked. So.
No, we asked.
So my thought is, we don't know when he died. We know when the first time the door was found open, but I'm wondering if he passed away, time passed, and then somebody robbed something he was working on. Like, he was holding something in his hands, but there's no sign of what. The container's gone, or the remnants of it.
It's awful.
Somebody removed something from here.
Well, there's this whole gym thing, too. It's hard because actually just holding on to it now. Just
It's awfully interesting that it seemed to have happened during the guard change.
Mm-hmm.
Implies a bit of information that
Does-
they might have had.
Does the gym look like it's like worth something? Like it actually would be?
It does.
It's a giant ruby, right?
Yeah.
It is.
We're gonna sell it?
also,
It's not like
I mean,
ostentatious though.
Right.
It's kind
Oh.
of tasteful, but it is big. It's certainly.
know-
It's bigger
It's
than you would
not-
expect someone of his.
That's great.
Station.
Yeah, it looks like maybe it's an heirloom or something like that.
It's
Aw.
also worth mentioning, again, that this doesn't look like, someone without. I doubt a scribe would have this. Is kind of an expensive heirloom. It looks like, and it looks like my history behind it.
There's no reason to believe it was originally in the chest.
Right. And it definitely wasn't like some just random hit and run, like someone wants to take his stuff because they didn't take this. Unless they took something else we didn't notice.
I'm not entirely convinced he had that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this from what I could hear snooping around, neither Thrain nor Carnath, neither of the leaders of either seem to know what's going on.
Well,
I mean, they might be putting on a really good show, but I promise you they didn't know I was there.
well, remember, the whole reason we're here is because somebody is on board trying to mess things up.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I would assume it's not either party directly.
Yeah. Do we have any idea who the third party might be?
I mean, we've got passengers, we've got Lyrandar, and then we've got mercenaries. I don't think there's much else accounted for unless somebody slipped in under the guise of one of those three, which is
Yeah.
entirely
I,
possible.
well, I just sort of like meant what side they would be. Like, who has something to
Yeah,
gain
what-
if
yeah,
this
what
peace treaty
faction?
falls
Well, I
through?
mean, there's a number of houses have stakes in this, and there's a number of enemies for every house, right? So if
This
there's
is
a long
this is
list.
Count all the
national
houses and
stage
count all their
too,
enemies.
though. Well, this is national stage, and I think isn't the entire world still scared of another war?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, and
but
that's
then
sort of-
again, a fair number of people wanted another war to break out because there's profit in it for them, or because it's the right thing to do, or because they're crazy.
Well, so, should we go on to that artificer?
That's one thing to do. I'd like to sort of try and figure out who the last person was to see him alive and when. Like, did he order dinner? If we can establish a
Good to
timeline
know
for
that.
him. So that's where I'd like to start looking into things.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Is one of those baskets that was delivered to everyone in the room?
Oh,
No, as a matter of fact, it is not.
and they were delivered to everyone?
They were delivered to everyone of a certain cabin quality.
Is this cabin of quality?
It is not. It is the cabin that is adjacent to a cabin of quality that you give to your secretary.
Oh.
It is notably much smaller than the cabins y'all have. You have suites.
Sweet.
Yeah. He's lucky to have a desk and no roommate. But then again, he's dead, so how lucky could he be?
Might have been better off than the roommate.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, that's also really interesting because, like, he doesn't seem like someone who is valued by the people here, but obviously he's important enough to someone to kill.
Or easy enough to
Well,
kill.
yeah, or
No
an
security.
attack of
They probably
opportunity.
didn't care much about him. I mean, he's just described.
They didn't care much about it.
Well, what do y'all think about asking the neighbors if they saw anything or heard anything?
That's not a bad
That
start.
seems
Don't
like-
wait here for that Silas fella. Hopefully he'll show up
I
soon.
suppose I'll need someone to accompany me to the lab, maybe.
I'll come
I'm,
with you, maybe, y'all.
I'm not sure
I'm
how
good
much
with
we
people.
want
Ain't
to
got-
alert the
ain't
rest
got
of the
much
ship
to-
to things going on. I'm curious why they left the door open. Like, somebody taking a thing, all they had to do was close the door and it would have bought them more time.
I'm not sure if they were actually ever in the room to begin with.
But then why would it be open still?
How far
That's
is
an even better
how far is
question.
the body from the door?
It is maybe like 4 or 5 feet, certainly not within arm's reach of it.
Okay, like he
It's
didn't stagger to the door.
I mean, he's definitely staggering, but he's in the middle of the room.
Okay.
Maybe he got spooked by something. Had to leave in a hurry.
Well, dying scary sometimes.
Well, I don't mean him.
Is
I
there
mean,
any?
Oh, the person who fled. I see.
Yeah, is there any evidence to suggest that, like, did we actually try detecting magic on him?
It's a room effect. Like he'd be able to
it's
see.
like a detective mode suite.
Okay,
um,
yeah.
And the only thing that you were able to find was
The
the
necklace.
It's the Arkham Knight, like.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, besides, someone might have left the door open because they wanted him to be found, right? Remember what we're dealing with.
True. If
Yeah.
we're dealing with someone trying to make a mess of this whole peace negotiation thing, that'd certainly be the way to do
So I
it.
suppose, yeah, you'd start with, like you said, who you can kill. But then why a method so mysterious, I guess?
That'll be a question to ask once we know what that method is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's.
There's any number of
You should run to the.
possibilities.
You should run to the lab and let's start
For
working on
sure.
that there.
Our starts running.
I'll accompany you since I am actually familiar with Mindro. Is his name?
Mendro, Gen Mendrow.
Again, Mindro.
Um,
Mindro.
Mazia calls after you as you start to move away. It's the middle of the night. Mazia's Gen's not going to want to get started on this until the morning, I'm sure.
And do we need his
Again,
help?
he's the captain.
If he'll just let us use his facilities, that would be good enough.
Magister Mendrow is very
Particular.
particular, is a very kind way of putting it. I think that perhaps even with the authority of the captain, you may have difficulty navigating the conversation necessary in order to, unless you wanted to just simply go in and hope that he doesn't catch you in there.
I like this idea.
That might also work.
I mean, if you're with us, we have authority at least.
What
right?
house is he from?
How big is this guy?
He it would be from Kenneth.
Canneth.
Yeah.
What are they?
They are the crafting,
Oh, okay.
crafting, construction, magical invention.
Whatever you do, don't offer to build him a chair.
You know, would he be a big name for like when I was working in the?
No, he's not even necessarily like an especially like. I mean, he's very talented and he's secured a very good gig, but he's from the trade houses. He's not necessarily. He doesn't even have the Kenneth name, so he's just a well-placed contractor, basically.
Why would a boat like this need somebody of his experience and?
Because the boat relies on the elemental wheels to lift it.
He's the mechanic.
Yes, basically. This one in particular, because unlike so many other airships, this one has 2 rings.
2 rings.
Ooh.
More than twice the complexity.
Yep.
Nothing personal, but how do you think you could sneak around? I mean, you're pretty big and bulky.
I'm plenty sneaky, and then clunk, clunk, clunk. What's sneaky?
Just an
Clunk, clunk,
arc-shaped
clunk,
hole in the wall.
Okay, no, I'm not great at the whole sneaky.
Watching
game.
swoosh right in.
Again, maybe we could just go in, start using the lab, and say it's official business.
We could. I mean, he's the one that is so talented at using it, though. I mean, I'm not to put you on notice.
Wait, he's an employee, right? I mean, he works for you, doesn't he? Or theoretically your house or something? I mean, what's all this dancing around for? You're confusing me here.
Yes.
Then what?
I have my own tools, and I could probably, I can't really figure out what poison is because I don't have tools for that, but like, I might be able to figure something out with the lab.
I didn't see any signs of poison for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, arcane in nature or not.
It's just that if we get on his bad side and we can't figure out anything ourselves, then he would certainly be less likely to help us beyond that.
I suppose that's true.
It's just timing could be crucial, so.
Yeah, I think the timing's more important than waiting to get in his good graces. Go up there and get a look at it whenever you have to, I say.
Alright, where we go?
Why are you so scared of your own employee?
Look,
Well, I
I
can't figure
trust
out.
my first mate. They're there to keep an eye out for me, so.
Technically, Magister Mendra is not an employee of House Lyandar. They are contracted to perform such services on the Lyandar ship.
Sure, but in a time of emergency, the captain has certain authority, I would imagine, right?
Without a doubt. But the man is already dead. Is that really an emergency? Again, I'm just playing dwarf's advocate.
Well, I mean, when the person who made him dead is very likely still running around with unknown intent, seems kind of emergency-like to me.
I'm simply trying to walk you through the cycles that Gen is almost certainly going to try and put you through. He's very
It's not like that person. Well, I guess.
he's very litigious.
Good for him.
Oh.
Yes.
There is that
Well,
cover anyway.
we'll just tell him we're trying to stop the whole corpse situation on the boat from exceeding 1. That's
All right.
I think something everyone can be on.
What's the team doing?
Let's just play sneaky. If he comes in, we'll tell him what's going on and do what we can.
Waiting for Silas to talk to him.
Okay.
I think I'm also waiting for him.
Okay.
I was gonna try and check up to see if I could determine any signs of like last meal, last people to see him alive. Did he call for room service?
Okay.
Would Silas be a person who, once after talking to Silas, I could go with Silas and he could introduce me to other people to talk to about the ship situation?
Mazia could probably show
Oh,
you exactly
okay.
where it is that you need to go in order to do that.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, in the meantime, maybe we should talk to the neighboring cabins.
I'm not sure we want to make this public yet.
Yeah, but it has to take to do that.
The
just
door
yet.
being open suggests to me that either the person was frazzled and left in a hurry, or they want people to know.
Well, it wouldn't necessarily
either
be
case.
public if if you just talk to the neighbors, be like, you heard anything weird going on lately?
Rumors grow fast. We already have a problem with
It's
both
gonna get out pretty
delegations.
soon anyway.
Yeah.
We can ask him after.
Okay, so here's what I am hearing. The 2 of you are staying here to talk to Silas.
Yep.
The 2 of you are going to the Artificer Lab. You're going with them?
Yeah.
And you're going to
Going
the
solo.
kitchen by yourself.
Yes.
My
Unless
goodness.
she told Art she was gonna go with
I
it.
guess before we
Yeah,
go,
if you'd rather, I can go with Lynn to, in case there's a murderer.
You are so paranoid.
If you are worried about murders, teams of 2 would be a good idea.
Yeah. Like, I'd be okay if, like, Maddie's here with the first mate.
Well, no.
The first mate who's I'm going with. I'm going with the
Oh,
first
no,
mate.
that's actually a very good point.
So,
Okay. Oh, okay.
I mean,
Yeah, do we want to split into teams of two? Because that actually does sound smart.
Seems like a reasonable precaution.
Alright, well, then you ought to go with. You're so scared of this guy.
Yeah, he has to go to the lab. You're running.
No, I
you're running
know.
with the
But you
crank.
if something comes up, you just gotta grow a pair. Come on.
Maybe you can
A pair
go
of hats.
Hats.
Maybe you can go with Lings. I mean, I don't know if shooting him is going to improve his disposition too much.
Token.
I'm great with people. I'll go with Lynn. That's fine.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay, then I will stay
Just
with
take care of
and then before we leave, I'll just remind everyone.
That's a
it's
big
the
ass.
If you find anything really big or need help, remember we got the stones.
Right.
Mine's used up, just so you know.
Alright.
Okay. Before too long, Tomas arrives with an older, much crankier guard bringing up the rear.
You Silas?
What's it to you?
Edward Sweetwater. Nice to meet you. You were on patrol here before midnight?
Yeah.
When was the last time you passed by this particular door?
That would have been 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. How long does your patrol route usually take you?
Well, I'm on guard from 9 to 12, so...
So an hour each?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm not usually a mathematician, but hey, I just got pulled out of bed in the middle of the night.
Just so you didn't come by it at midnight just before your shift ended.
Can't say that I did.
Did you see?
Kind of looking forward to getting to sleep, you know what I mean? Some of us like to do that.
Yeah, I understand. Did you see or hear anything unusual at any point on your patrol?
How do you mean unusual?
Different from normal. Something that made you look up or listen a little more closely.
Oh god, a killer. Oh my god.
I saw one thing. Wouldn't hear. It was when I was getting off. Went up to the deck just to take in some breeze. Now that we're out over the ocean, and those skeletons, you know, those little brainless ones, been trotting and skittering and scattering all over the decks.
Yeah, I seen them.
They were all looking out over the edge, like they were sightseeing. They were. Kind of took the inclination out of me to go off and do the same, but
So at 11 o'clock, was this door closed?
most certainly was, yes. Almost probably, yes.
Can I insight?
Yes, you can,
He does
please.
not sound confident there. That is a total of 19.
He does not remember.
Well,
He doesn't seem like he's like deliberately misleading you or anything like that, but he was not necessarily where he needed to be during the later stages of his shift.
tell me something else if you can. So, has this been your route since was this the first night that the ship's
is,
been
yes.
up? Okay. When were the assignments for the patrols given out anyway?
Before we disembarked.
Like right before or when before?
No, like the day before. We knew what we were doing before we got on board the boat.
Okay, and that was all done with all of you as a group. Those whoever's in charge of you gave them out.
Yeah, yeah.
And who is in charge of you anyway? What's his name or her name?
Her name is Jonna Madani, and she is also asleep. So if you're especially interested in talking to her, you'll probably need to wake her up too.
You probably will.
We're gonna burn all of our any social standing we had with any of these people
Let's
tonight.
just blare the alarms and the shit.
Is there a klaxon we can sound? Fire alarm?
The boat is on fire. The boat is on fire.
Oh, that's why we saw the boat blowing up and said we just.
We ain't got to talk to her yet, but thanks for coming and talk to us yourself, Silas, and thanks for getting him, Tomas.
Who are you people anyway? What's all this about?
Oh, we're just tourists.
No, okay. Captain brought us aboard. Friends of his. There's trouble in his ship. We're trying to find out what happened.
Well, good night.
Good night.
Another suspect for your tableau.
No.
Where does she stay?
I mean, she would probably be in the lower decks since she's a guard.
Like, I'm sorry, like here?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's kitchen cafeteria.
Yeah, that's what I was
Just
confused.
This is
rooms.
Cabins.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
there
you
you
go.
go.
There we go. Somewhere
Yeah.
there.
Bottom floor.
Yes.
So once they're out of sight, Maddie kind of shakes her head. That
Yeah.
guard ain't worth it.
I'll basically confirm that, like, yeah, his memory seems sketchy at best. I'm not even sure if he was where he was supposed to be.
He didn't even know how long it takes to walk the patrol. But what makes me wonder about that is, feels like if someone was wanting to do something to this fellow, they sure picked the right time to do it. Between old Slowpoke's patrol and the next one, they had an hour and a half to do whatever they wanted at least, and that's assuming he even paid half attention when he came around at 11. So basically what we've come down to is we don't know when this happened. It could have been almost any time after dinner.
I am concerned about this like sky gazing skeleton phenomenon as well. If there is, like, again, I'm probably overthinking what happens when you like transmit necromantic magic, but if there was some
What?
well, the
But two skeletons love each other very
When
much.
I guess I'm still thinking about, you know, remember your chart? The force behind the force is apparently invested in statue, which means they're interested in something that can conduct necromantic magic. Which, if you were to conduct necromantic magic, could there be some sort of like necromantic interference that would cause skeletons that are not? Because he specifically said the brainless ones, right? Like the captain skeleton wasn't up there, but the skeletons that don't think.
How high over Maddie's head has all this gone?
You can make an insight check if you want.
Maddie's eyes are glazing.
Have you drooled yet?
Is that a natural 20?
It looks like it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say that you got a natural 20.
You're sure you lost Maddie, despite her best efforts to look like she understands it, you're sure you lost her about 3 minutes ago. About the time you said conduct, probably.
Reese and...
I'll be like, okay, I'm at like, you know, I guess maybe a storm could knock out like magical equipment that ran on electricity or something like that.
I'll take your word for it. I mean,
What if whatever killed this man? Because there's no evidence. Like, it just seems like he just died for no discernible reason.
That much I get.
If someone just channeled the power of death, could that cause skeletons to go haywire? Because they run on death, I think. I'm not a skeleton expert, but we've got mouse.
You did leave your ghostologist back at
I sure
home.
hope you didn't think I am.
I got a bone to pick with this conversation.
Reese and Ark arrive at the next deck down at the impressive-looking entrance to the Artificer Lab.
Does he sleep here?
50-50.
You're about to find
No.
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the door is tightly sealed. This place looks like everything else is like pretty nicely put together, like chic wooden doors and stuff like that. You know, like in the Japanese style that like slide away. It's very, very tasteful. This is like a bank vault.
I think Ark's gonna like hold his hand up as we get near, and just kind of like, well.
There's like a thrum. There's like a field of energy like sitting in front of this thing. It's almost loud enough for you to hear.
If it's anything like any of the other places I worked before, the really good stuff is usually really secure.
Yeah, it looks that way.
We might need to. Well, let's just see what we're looking at here. Ark's gonna kind of approach it. No, not try and trip anything. Just kind of look at what it is we're looking at here for trying to break into this place. What should I roll? Arcane? Investigation?
What are you trying to do?
Detect magic? I'll do detect magic first.
Okay.
That's probably the best start.
Roll. Your eyes light up. Do they light up?
I mean, I guess they probably do now. With all this magic in the area.
The whole of the door and
Scanning.
lots of stuff behind it is all magical.
Okay. I mean, I kind of expected that. Looks like
Break in and just like supermarket.
the door itself.
Fucking.
Well, I should note that actually the hull of the ship is, of course, faintly magical.
Yeah.
In addition to like the ever-burning lanterns that are basically embedded all over the place, there's also like
little pips.
stuff that conjures water for sinks and showers and stuff like that. There's automatic fireplaces, and in fact, the wood is called soarwood, which is this magically treated cedar, which allows it to sail through the air even better than usual.
It's
What?
not sorely lacking in magic.
Soarwood just sounds like an STD.
It's also that. It's named for the STD.
There's some soul wood here. Oh, Ark's gonna kind of approach the door then, I guess, and kind of maybe knowledge arcana to kind of figure out if it's trapped or how to like disarm it. First I'll check for traps.
Check for magical traps,
Yes.
arcana.
That looks like something I want to stress.
God.
Stress it.
That was a 7. So I'm
Cool.
gonna stress that. Is that 2? 2, right?
2.
Okay.
Here, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, don't stress that.
Okay. Is that obvious?
Yeah. So you're like poking closer at like the levers and the giant wheel, like the ship's wheel that's like sticking out of it, and like out of like the center of the thing, a pair of lips just like flap open, and the like spokes of the wheel like clamber down as if they're like a mustache and beard, as though there's like a giant wooden dwarven mandible just hanging there. And he goes, "Hey! It's the middle of the night. What do you think you're doing?"
We need to get access to the lab. Official artificer.
Oh, official artificial business, is it?
Yeah.
You got your credentials?
I am the captain of the ship.
Oh, I'm the captain of this ship. You're just
Where's your hat?
You're just some skinny boy in a hat.
I like my hat. Where's your hat?
And there's a gust of wind, and it swallows your hat into its
no!
gullet. And he does like a, and it inexplicably like manifests like on top of his mustache.
Yeah.
Swab the deck.
There's been a.
Keel all of them.
Swab it. Come on.
You can't kill Hollow with a sky ship. That doesn't make any sense.
What was the name? I'm sorry. What was it? Real quick. What was the name of the artificer himself?
Mindro.
Mindro. Okay. Right. Are you Mindro?
Do I look like Gen Mendrow?
You know what? I don't honestly know for sure. I haven't met the fellow.
I've heard he's a dwarf.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that just you like agreeing with me on account of the fact that you don't know, or do you actually know in fact that
Does
he
Ries
is?
know whether
Yes.
he's a dwarf?
Yes.
He is a dwarf.
Okay. Right. So look, I'm just here.
Do you know what a dwarf looks like?
Yes.
And yet you think that this big, strange, animate, talking ship's wheel, now inexplicably wearing a captain's hat.
Well, there's a lot of
Is a
magic.
dwarf.
It could be a direct link to.
Oh, it's
all
true. I
know.
could have been cursed and transformed into a ship's wheel for all my life.
Well,
Those witches.
anyway, there's been a murder on the ship, and I need the lab so I can try and investigate whether this, and he kind of holds up the glass of water, whether this is the substance that did the murder or not,
That glass of water there.
with some stuff in it.
Don't give the wheel the last water.
Kind of caps it. Yeah.
Access to the artificial lab is strictly forbidden, except in cases accompanied by the one, the magnificent, the magister, Gen Mendrow.
Right.
Told you this was a good idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think we're gonna.
It's
have
weirdly gooey,
To, oh no.
and there's like wood chips in it.
I got some water to. I think we're gonna have to go see.
The
Gin.
hat is now murder.
We're gonna have to go see Gin Mindra. I think this is a little bit beyond my skill level. I think, like living centuries.
Say
So
that again.
that's
That's
That's some high level stuff right there.
Let's go back to the group.
It's not that high level.
Really?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, it's
Nah,
higher than
It's higher level than what Ark possesses.
It's higher than
Ix.
This is out of my league.
Ix and Lynn, you are led to the kitchens where, despite the late night, there are some folks still eating. There's lots of people that are getting ready for the next day's worth of wares. You pass by a couple of sous chefs and people that are just sweeping up until you come across a very tall man with a spiky set of blonde hair. Looks to be a desert elf or something like that. Jaden, these men would like to speak to you. Excuse me, you're both women. I'm sorry. Old habits, military life, you understand. These young ladies would like to... Young ladies is unnecessarily diminutive. I'm sorry, it's very late. Jaden, talk to these broads. Oh my god.
No, that one was fine.
That was fine. That works.
I'm going to sit down. I'm so sorry.
Hello.
Jaden's just sort of like, hi.
Hi.
Are you the broads?
Apparently
That's
tonight
us.
we are.
Terrific. I'm Jaden. I'm the cook.
Hi, very nice to meet you.
Yeah.
We had a couple of questions. We were curious about what was his first name? Sorid?
Gunther? Oh.
That's Gunther, but there's something.
That's scribe.
Do we
Oh,
ever
Scribe.
Scribe. Gunther's.
Well, no. There's
Scribe?
no. There's joined letters on here where
Yeah, I'm
it was.
sorry.
Good old Scribe.
I'm reading it
Gunther.
upside down and at a distance.
His full name was Gunther Hegerin.
Gunther Hegerin. And then we also know the room number because we were in the room. We were curious if he had his dinner delivered tonight or if he ate in the kitchen or...
Yeah, I believe he requested his dinner delivered. Absolutely.
Do you know what time that was?
Dinners are delivered all at the same time if they don't meet in the common room. So that would have been at about 7.
7. Do they pick up the dishes from people who've dined in their room later, like at a certain time?
Yeah, I mean, we've got room service. You leave your stuff outside and people pick it up.
Okay. What time does that tend to happen?
I mean, the cleaning staff is usually pretty busy, but they manage to get to it before people wake up.
When we were walking through the ship, did we see other people's dishes out of
Yes,
their room?
absolutely.
And were there any dishes in his room?
There were not.
Okay.
Or outside it.
Nope.
Were there dishes around rooms next to his? Like,
No, but it's not unreasonable to think that they would have picked those up sooner since those are the nicer suites.
right.
People could finish eating at different times too.
Yeah.
What if the murderer killed him for his food?
Man, I would.
Trying to think of other questions for the cook.
You could ask me about these spectacular pastries I'm making.
Oh, what is it?
Tell me about your
This is just sort of a little scrap based on what we had available. There's a little bit of spinach, and a little bit of eggs, and a little bit of cheese from Oundare.
That sounds lovely.
Would you like to try one?
I'd love to.
Offers you a pair.
No?
Poison.
Murder! Good, thanks.
If I keel over, by the way.
You do not keel over. It is delicious.
It is amazing. Oh my god. I haven't snuck into like rich people's lives in quite a while. This is nice getting back to the good stuff.
Jaden winks.
So dinner was served around 7. The dish pickup would have possibly started.
What happened to this guy? Fly the coop? Trying to put together
Trying to piece together. Last time he might have been seen. Yeah.
Is he missing?
Not doing well.
It's a big ship. A lot of places for people to hide.
Yeah.
Particularly.
We're worried about it.
Huh.
So do you know in the support staff here who might have been able to see when he was last seen? Who we could talk to about that?
I mostly keep the kitchen and talk with the staff in here. Mazia here, if she ever gets her wits back about her, might be able to put you in touch with someone. But
Was she just staring into space?
Mazia,
now?
hun, you doing all right? Just like I was a professional. Now look at me.
Give her one of those pastries.
I'll tell you. You know what? Honestly, I'm so tired, and I'm gonna go down to the games room. If you guys need anything else, then please just meet me there. But I need to take a load off for a minute.
Okay.
She gets up and heads down.
Games room might not be a bad place to look for more information. People talking there. Yeah, I don't know how to get a good contact with the cleaning crew or a good contact with any of the other support positions.
I mean, honestly, if they're just passing through grabbing dishes when they're there, they probably don't even know what time they pick those up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're off on their watches or something. They're sun trackers, whatever they call watches in this fantasy universe.
I mean, they have pocket watches.
They're pocket watches,
Yeah.
whatever crazy word they have.
Yeah. It's
Pocket dials, sundials.
Pocket
Watch.
clock. A pocket clock. Okay, are you guys reconvening at some point?
We were heading back
Yeah.
to the.
We gotta go to the yeah.
We probably go back to our
Officers
main
Club.
room, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so once we sort of start heading back that way, once we get out of the kitchen, Ix is going to say, I'm going to swing by the game room real quick and real quiet and just see what I can see. I'll be back.
Oh, you mind if I go with you? I was curious
How
about that.
quiet are you?
18. I'm 18 quiet.
I'm pretty quiet.
Alright, well, just, you know.
What? I am a
just got
very
keyboard
skilled
shit.
individual.
She'll say, some of us excel at obtaining attention and some of us excel at rejecting attention.
I found both traits valuable.
Okay, well, then just keep quiet.
We're sneaking along, sneaking along.
Why does everyone think I have like a negative stealth? I don't understand
It was
this,
negative. I didn't go that far.
this disdain here.
Well,
Wow.
proofs of the dice.
The two of you make your approach to
Oh, if
the.
it's based on dice, I don't have
Yeah.
Yeah, the ninja's garbage at
Ark has
Well,
great
everything.
faith in you because compared to Ark,
I rolled it
everyone's
today,
better.
but that's
So-
only because it hasn't mattered yet. Well, it's mattered, but it hasn't been a failure would get me in trouble yet.
If the front of the artificer lab looks like a. Actually, is it on the same deck? You guys
It
might
is.
just
It
pass each
is.
other.
Oh yeah, casino.
Yeah. Well, there's a wall yelling at Ark and Ries that you pass by.
yeah,
like-
that sounds about right.
awesome.
Reese's hat is
Is
missing.
that
Yeah.
was that by the Jim Henson Company? It looks amazing.
If that looks like a bank vault or whatever it looks like now, the entrance to the games room looks like an entrance to a theater. It is big, plush, red curtains and stuff like that. Literal velvet ropes leading you in. Nice, big, stately doors with attendants waiting to welcome you in, even at this hour. And inside there is a small but tasteful collection of games tables, a few bars scattered around the small space. It's kind of like speakeasy, but it's got room enough for craps table, poker table, roulette wheel, that kind of thing. There are a few folks in here. You spot the Baron. You also spot some Madani sentries sort of posted up around, just to make sure that this, given that it's basically the bar for most of the crew, is not a place where bar fights break out.
No.
You also spot a couple of individuals who you don't recognize yet, but they all seem to be engaged in playing games, or at least entreated to play games by a vivacious halfling who seems to be the host of the games room. He's sort of bouncing around between places. Are you guys taking pains not to be noticed as you make your entrance?
Yeah, Ix is trying, like, she's not like crawling on the ceiling to get in or anything, but she's just gonna try to like crowd blend a little bit.
Sure.
And just like not, mostly more than anything, she doesn't want Mazia, who we just spoke to be like, oh, you guys are here.
Yeah. So just more wallflowering it.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me. You can use stealth if you want, but performance or something like that would also be reasonable.
What's our performance?
12.
18.
Cool. No one seems to take notice of you, including the halfling. The halfling, it looks like, is
Thank
more
God.
engaged with his current marks, just trying to get him playing, make sure that they're well lubricated and spending money for as long as they're in here.
I'm gonna look over to the Baron in particular. I'm gonna try. Is he talking to anyone?
He seems intent on his cards. However, he's accompanied by 3 of his cronies, the ones that were carrying his long train of baggage in, and they seem to be talking amongst themselves or to passersby.
Okay, I'm gonna try and read lips on them.
Okay. How do you do that?
I have a feat that lets me read lips.
Nice!
I'm very observant.
Sure. They seem to be remarking not only on the quality of the games room, but on the quality of the ship itself. Actually, it seems like they're using it in comparative terms, as though they've recently seen, or at least know of a vessel that might even match or exceed the Golden Droid.
Ooh. I want to go on that ship. It has much less murder, I'm sure.
Or twice as much murder.
Oh. Fiend Cruise.
Oh, it's a murder mystery cruise.
Oh
That
my
explains
god!
it.
Oh my god! It would be so hilarious if we just didn't realize this was a murder mystery cruise.
See,
Like, you
Reese
cut
is
off his hand?
He's an actor. Reese is the captain. Reese set it up all along.
people were talking.
Oh my god, that would be so good. Please let that
People
be the
were
twist.
talking at work about the Westworld experience at South by Southwest, and I was thinking that if it was a secret escape room, that would be a much better Westworld experience.
Oh my god.
Because it's like, well, you're not supposed to kill or have sex with anyone, but then they start shooting you, and like someone you thought was a player dies.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
I'm gonna fuck
Oh.
that body.
that'll make,
Why?
That'll-
Desperate times!
that'll definitely make the highlight reel.
What's Mozzie up to?
She is, so she's got a stack of chips at the craps table, but she is not into it. She seems to be like mostly napping, but moving chips into various spots at times when it is necessary for her to do that.
Okay. Yeah, unless anything in particular happens, Ix, or if Lynn has any other plans, Ix just basically wanted to float through. A, she wanted to make sure Mozzie was actually going to the game room.
She
and
is.
B, didn't get murdered on her way there. And just to kind of like get a sense for the place, but she doesn't have anything, like, she's not out to do anything while she's here.
Sure, that's
She just
fair.
want a lot of boots on the ground as far as different parts of the ship.
Absolutely.
Lynn wants to quickly scan the other conversations in the room, see if anyone's saying anything of interesting note.
So there's not a whole lot of like chit chat or anything like that going on. However, the third person that's playing craps is doing enough noise basically to be a conversation in and of himself. This guy is losing and losing bad, and he's just like angrier and angrier as the clock gets higher. Clock gets higher. That's how EBERRON clocks work.
It's
It just
420
gets-
already.
It's a little dome.
It just
like,
gets
yeah.
bigger
grows
based
and
on what
shrinks.
time it
It has been
is.
3,246 seconds since
Yes.
the creation of the
Hey.
universe.
It's a world of magic. Who's the judge? How the clocks work.
Me, the dungeon master.
Judging.
This fellow is notable not only because he's angry and losing all of his money at gambling, but because he's very clearly dressed in the outfit of a courier for House Orion.
Uh-oh.
Do you remember which House Orion
They're
is?
the messenger house,
That they are the messenger
which
house.
would explain him being a courier.
Yes.
But metagame, a courier on a ship where people are getting killed tends to be one of those things where I think we'll see him dead soon.
Well,
I watch too
right.
many mystery things. That's just
Cool.
Backtracking, if I recall, we knew that there was one person on the ship who had to deliver an important message to someone.
That's
who
right.
Yes. Mazia told Ries about this particular person being on the ship when he got the rundown,
Okay.
starring The Rock.
And we do not know the type of message or who it's going
Only
to. We
that
just
it's
know an important
extraordinarily high confidential. G14 classified, most likely.
message. Oh wow.
Based on the idea that they didn't just use magic because magic can be intercepted. They only send written stuff personally if it's incredibly important. As in missives
Yeah.
for the Storm Lords.
Does he have like the message like on a briefcase handcuffed to him, or which is interfering with his dice throwing? No wonder he's losing.
Yes. It is, as you say, he definitely has like a satchel that is literally like bound to his arm in some way.
Yeah. Okay. Lynn's gonna all she needs to do, so try and catch X's eye, and then
Okay.
You slip out.
Okay.
I'll tell X just generally what I was able to pick up from. Oh, the Barons people were talking about nicer ships. That guy's losing a lot. That's the messenger that we'd heard about when we got here.
Nicer ship, singular.
Oh, right.
Yeah, she'll say. I mostly just wanted to make sure Mazia made it back alive.
What's
Didn't want her staggering around the halls tired and alone.
very nice of you.
Well, I mean,
I mean, there's a murderer.
sure,
out, so.
but also if we caught the murderer trying to kill her, that would,
That would have been so
that would
cool.
narrow things down really nicely.
Farron, Maddie, what are you guys doing? Heading back to your quarters?
I'm curious if on the way back we could slip up above deck to see if A, there are skeletons there.
There are not.
And B, if there's any like evidence of what might have attracted them to, looking off the side.
It is an almost full moon, but it is not a completely full moon.
They're were skeletons.
Is the moon off in is the moon off in the direction that we suspect they might
It is
be?
not. It is
Okay.
behind you.
Okay. Well,
There are some people like stationed on the deck. I
Yeah, there's a
presume.
couple of Madani guards up here, and then there's of course the people that are tasked with flying the ship.
Alright, Maddie will walk up to one of the guards. Say, Deborah Sweetwater, nice to meet you. Came on board with the captain. I was looking into something. Did all those skeletons really come up here earlier and look over the side at something?
Yeah, it was weird.
Was it just all the smaller ones, or did that big one come with them too?
Oh, the big like spiky one?
Yeah, that one.
I didn't see him.
So just the little ones.
I wouldn't call him little,
Well,
but certainly
relative-
smaller.
Relatively speaking, you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean.
sure,
Oh.
sure.
do you know how long they stuck around?
Longer than was comfortable, I'll say that.
About what time would you say it was when that happened?
I don't know. I'm sorry. That's the whole sentence.
Might have been. She'll look to the other guard if there is another one. You don't know either, huh? What time it was?
They couldn't have been up here for more than half an hour. Real organized, marched up here in a single file line, gathered up in like a weird semicircle, and when they were done, they just gathered back up in a line and marched back down.
Could Maddie make a religion check to see if she's heard of something like this and that? I mean, it is a religion with that nation, right?
Yeah.
Too. Yeah. All right.
Are you a level 2 character?
Yeah.
How do you have 4 pieces of paper?
Have you
8.
seen Hermes characters?
You've not heard of any such skeleton march.
That's weird. We'll have to ask about that. And so that's about how long it was. Do you have any idea when it was? I mean, how high was the moon up? That kind of thing?
I gotta be honest, man. I pay attention to when I need to start working and when I need to stop working.
No, that's a good thing for guards to pay attention to. Yeah, I agree. I understand.
Skeletons aren't stabbing people left and right. And come and go as they please, as far as I'm concerned.
Fair enough.
Well, or strangling, or fixating in some other way, or you get what I mean.
Bludgeoning.
Yeah, no bludgeoning. Bludgeoning.
I get you. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Good night.
Yep.
Eddie went off the fair. I wonder if that was something else somebody might have known was going to happen.
Yeah.
The timing's looking really nice. You get all the skeletons up here. You got
Time to
Slowpokey on guard, and you got the guard switch coming up. And you got an hour and a half when the skeletons are all here. You got ineffective patrols. If someone knew all that, they certainly picked the right time. It's a hell of a lot of coincidences adding up there. I want to talk to this Joanna, see if she knows anyone new if there was anyone new added to the unit, if there was anybody else who knew something.
Yeah. Whenever
Yes.
I'm not there.
He's not there. Yeah.
Proceed.
whenever we have to break the news to the Carnathi, I think we should definitely ask about their skeleton patrol patterns.
This is weird. That sounds like the captain's job to me.
Captain's busy.
Hat in
trying to
hand,
put
I'm
down
very
an
sorry
artificer.
for your loss.
Do you guys want to reconvene in your quarters?
That's
perhaps?
a very good idea.
Yes.
Okay, you reconvene in your quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Someone has been here.
They better not have taken those damn cookies.
Is all my stuff still here?
I don't know. Why don't you each give me
Lynn
an-
goes immediately to check if all
All
our
you
stuff-
give me an investigation check.
Oh.
Go off the
Natural
table.
one.
You're on
Bring me
an,
cookies.
you're on an area ship of some kind.
14.
16.
8.
9.
Lynn and Maddie, you spot in the center of the room a broken cookie. And then a few feet away from it, leading towards a shut closet, another piece of cookie.
Yeah. Extracts her crossbow, trains it on the closet.
Yeah, Maddie kind of motions for Ix to be on one side of it, and she's going on the other.
Yeah, Ix will get on the side like where the door opens.
Yeah.
She'll slice the pie on the door and
Well,
she'll be across the
I
What's
room.
going on?
Why?
What's going on?
Somebody's in the closet.
What?
Maddie's going to open
Somebody
the door
needs to come
such
out of the
that she
closet.
is not in Ix's line of fire. And she will throw the closet door open, assuming it's not locked. Or
Yes. I mean, yes, it's not locked.
something. Okay.
Inside is a huddled, well-dressed, bobbin-haired 12-year-old boy with half a cookie in his mouth. Oh,
off, Ghost.
I assume it's the one from the gave us the mission?
yes.
Oh,
You
Christ.
were about the dumbest little
Yep.
shit I ever saw. What the hell were you thinking?
I
Get the hell out of there.
Had every reason to expect that I would be able to finish this particular crime in such short order and then make appropriate. I was in a bind. Can I come out of this?
You
please?
can come out of the closet.
Thank you.
Why don't you
Excuse
do
me.
that?
I will. Thank you.
Have a seat.
Thank
Pointing to
you.
the couch.
Yes. Hello. My name is Petra. It's a pleasure to
Meet you
finally
again.
meet
Ix will sigh.
the rest of you.
Did we not all meet Petra?
Oh, actually,
No, we did. Yeah,
I think we all met Petra right before we got on the
No,
show.
I think you
We met
were
her.
We
in
did.
Petra's presence. I don't think necessarily you went, "Hi, my name is Lynn. I'm the
Yeah.
healer
Oh,
of
we
the
did.
party."
We did.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
Form up with
It was more like,
Hey,
"Oh,
we're the crew."
Ix has a crew. All right, well, I'll let you take care of it."
Oh, I thought they came back to the coffee shop.
They did, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Well,
just didn't,
we didn't
formally
actually introduce
introduce
Okay,
ourselves.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well,
I didn't realize you were going to be on the ship.
Yeah.
it was a very split-second decision at the very end. Decided just to make sure that things were going in a successful direction. Not that I didn't have the slightest bit of doubt in your capabilities. Obviously, I have the absolute certainty that everything will go as. I just wanted to, it just seemed like I might be of some benefit to you. I'm, despite present circumstances, quite capable of solving some
Good job almost
situations.
getting shot with a crossbow.
Listen,
Yeah.
Mark just shoves Petra in the
Inside
closet,
Yeah.
shuts
Yeah.
the door.
14.
he is nervous but believes what he's saying.
No, those were my cookies.
I'm sorry. I will endeavor to get you more. No,
Neighbors,
that's not good enough. I promise to get you more.
Well, this is
That is better, but I really like the idea of a cookie endeavor.
Ix lights a cigarette and sits down on the bed.
This is all fascinating and all, and yeah, I'm glad we have another little helper here, but we gotta murder to solve.
I beg your pardon, a murder?
Yeah, we have a murder to solve right now.
We haven't
Yeah.
found any evidence of large-scale sabotage, but we have, however,
Something's going on.
something's definitely
It's
going
possible that whoever was trying to sabotage the ship in the first place is maybe switched tact, or maybe it's unrelated. Who knows? With all
They
people
knew
hate
what
each
was.
other.
I think they knew the defenses of the
Yeah.
ship pretty damn well. And I think they knew a lot about the skeletons too. I ain't confirmed that yet, but they knew the weak point in the guard. They knew when the guard shift was changing. I'm almost.
Well,
convinced
what
of
about the
that.
skeletons?
That we haven't looked into yet. But I mean, you
We-
won't be the one to tell them they're.
We know that the skeletons were not on patrol during a window of the night.
What were they doing?
They were staring off the side of the ship apparently.
Does Lynn know anything about this? Having impersonated a Blood of Vol person before.
You're not familiar with any kind of specific ritual or
Like-
squad formation or anything
Did they
like
need
that.
recharge or da da da?
Nothing like that. As far
Yeah.
as far as you're aware, as far as anyone is aware, really, the nature of the unwilled undead that the Karnaths use is that they will basically do what it is that you tell them to do, which is what makes them such perfect soldiers.
So it's actually, Lynn's going to sort of explain all that. And
Yep.
It's actually very interesting they were not where they would have prevented this murder.
That's
Yes.
what I was saying. There's a lot of. There's
And
a lot
so
of.
they may have been sent
It's
away.
like there's a whole lot of gaps in the defenses at all about the same time that somebody had to arrange and or know about to pull this off. I mean, you had the slowpoke guard who was worth a shit. Then
What
you
was
had the
going on
guard-
with the Slowpoke Guard?
Well, he didn't even know how long it took to patrol the route. I don't know. Baron doesn't even think he was paying attention when he was patrolling.
To be fair, security shit work.
Well, I ain't
Fair.
disputing that, but you sign up for a job, you ought damn well do it.
Do we know if he just never patrolled, went off and got drunk? Somebody got him to go off and start drinking?
Honestly, no telling with him. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that whole patrol is a wash. We don't have any clue what happened during that or
I think-
the way
Well,
it's been.
speaking of washes, the lab is also a wash.
No.
We need to get together out.
You two get scared off by an old man working for you?
No, it's really heavily warded, and we need to go find Gendra first.
But what was
Figured
going
we'd
on
meet
with the
here
angry
first.
door?
That was so awesome.
That was pretty neat.
The what?
Yeah, we gotta say,
Lynn's not letting you get away with that.
ran into some trouble, and we need to see Gendro himself.
Fair.
Alright.
We
We
came back here
didn't,
to just meet up and see if you'd all find anything.
we didn't find much information either. We know that he would have received his dinner at around 7 p.m., would have put his dishes out when he was done, dishes were gone, but they probably serviced this area of the ship pretty early afterwards, so I'm going to say the time of death is probably sometime 7:30 to...
Apparently 12:30.
Okay.
We have no damn clue what happened during.
Yeah.
What about the neighbors?
Well, do we want to tell everybody on the ship that this happened yet? I mean, it's going to get out eventually, but
Some
I
of
mean,
his
if they heard
neighbors
it-
are Carnathi delegation, right? Which we do need to talk to and inform that one of their people
What's
died.
this we?
The captain and his wonderful assistant who is...
well, let's go talk to them. We need to find out about this skeleton business anyway.
Yeah, well, before we carry off, what about you? They
Yeah.
possibly left
We
alone.
have a new...
By the way, Petra, was it right?
Indeed.
We did search the ship, and we didn't find any of the evidence of the things you talked about before. So
It seems likely. I don't think they have pursued the same approach, having been foiled once.
right.
If they are indeed trying to cause some sort of diplomatic explosion, this seems like it would be involved.
Well, can't very well leave you here. If they have any idea that you were behind exposed them the first time and figure out you're here again, they probably won't do anything terribly nice to you.
As I said, I have actual plans for keeping myself disguised.
Screaming right.
What are you doing to
And now
disguise yourself?
12-year-old stands on his shoulders and they put a coat on.
Yeah, is it about the same quality as the eating cookies and hide in the closet plan? Is that about where we're at on that?
I allowed myself to lower my guard knowing that I was in a safe place.
Yeah, you're on a ship with a murderer. That's a real safe
The
place.
rest of the ship has many crawl spaces and ducts that are implausible for a grown adult, but are perfectly fine for perhaps a 12-year-old boy or a full-grown gnome.
Well, he opens the closet and looks around really carefully.
So we're looking
There is
for
indeed
a
like a
gnome or a
fake
halfling.
back in the back of it.
Huh.
Like a vent opens and just Joro just jumps out.
Ah,
Well, that's interesting.
you,
didn't like
you
your
solved
shit.
my crawling trap. It was Joro the whole time.
I'll give you credit for that much, at least, I guess.
It's efficient, and I have suitable enough understanding of the layout of the ship that I can be basically anywhere that I want to be and make sure that no one knows that I'm there.
Is there, I was about to say, is there perhaps a vent that would have led to room number XX?
Yeah, I'm assuming you guys like fill them in completely
Yeah.
on the.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There would indeed. I can make an examination of those tunnels to see if there's some degree of disturbance, but the path leading into a room of that quality would only be a small vent. I would be very hard pressed to get through it myself.
Ain't a bad thing to check out, I guess, since none of us can do it.
Certainly. Perhaps some degree of gaseous or even a spell could be cast from such a small opening.
Hey, yeah. Kind of a side arc. Don't you have another of those? Oh, I thought there was an extra one.
No, I wanted to, but that was too much.
Mm,
Out of the cost.
fair enough.
As a matter of fact, it might be even faster if you were to use your small friend.
Yeah, you're right.
Safer, too.
Oh, yeah.
I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Alright, Cope. Need you to. So we're sitting. Okay.
We're sending Cub to the room to investigate the vent? Or
We're sending him through the vents to the room, solid snake style.
Making sure nobody else is taking the same path.
Right.
Oh.
Need you go ahead and go to this room and we'll kind of give Cub the layout
Sure.
and just kind of explain where Cub needs to go. Check for anything suspicious, see how hard it'll be to get through there, and come back and tell me what you found.
Can you like see through his eyes, familiar style at this point?
No.
Okay. So basically, Petra moves the false door out of the back of the closet, and sure enough, there's a crawl space, and Cov disappears in, and almost immediately like skitters up through the wall. You can hear him sort of like
That's on this ship.
takes off in the direction of the Carnath cabins, and within a couple of minutes comes back without too much to report. It seems like, yes, there are like some slates that you could see through, but even if you were crawling through, you'd have a very difficult time casting a spell or really doing a whole lot beyond using like a blow dart or something like that.
Arp will relay everything Cub says. You guys can't understand Cub at all. Cub speaks in names and notes.
Fair enough. Let's go talk to the
Carnath delegation.
folk.
Yeah.
But we still gotta go see the officer, so I guess we'll go do that now.
Well, it's still.
Well, now it's like
still-
3:30
I say
in
it's
the
still
morning.
the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet most of these people have gone back to sleep.
You think we should wait till the morning?
Yeah. At this point, it's already. I mean, time's already passed, and we're only gonna piss them off by waking up now. So.
Suppose so. I mean, Murder's on the loose there too, but I guess there's nothing we can do about that.
Perhaps we can take some degree of solace in the idea that if only one person has been murdered, perhaps whoever this is needs to sleep as well.
What are we actually doing with the room with the bonding in it? Are there people guarding it or keeping it?
Standard Lyrandar procedures, I think, would require House Madani to keep it sealed up.
Okay.
Good enough.
Unless there's items pursuant to the embassy's deliberations. They might have need of his logs or something like that. Presumably one of the skeletons will have to keep records now.
They seem like they'd be good at that.
Racist.
This is actually a famed poet.
Yeah.
You don't know. Sir Bonesington, the poet.
Sir Bones alive.
No, don't call yourself that.
I'm glad so.
Are you retiring for the rest of the evening?
I think that's a good idea.
Are you setting a guard?
We'll definitely take watches.
Yeah. Do you need to sleep, Ark?
I need a little bit of a charge up period, but for the most part, I don't need to sleep as long as you all do.
Okay.
Actually,
Sounds like the middle guard would be best for you then.
Could a tinker make one of the boards outside squeaky?
I'm not sure anything can create squeaky.
Can we make sounding traps?
Yeah,
Particularly the closet.
I think that you could more easily do that kind of thing here inside of your own cabin. The hallways are sleek and really, really professionally put together. I think you'd have a harder time sort of doing a quick job of
There is,
changing one of those.
One thing I could do, Cub is actually pretty good at, staying in an area and coming to warn us if anything happens.
And you
But
can
then
keep an eye on the vents.
Yeah,
maybe, because
I
we
like
can't
that.
do that.
won't have use of Cub otherwise. Right now, it seems.
Rather than the squeaky floor, then maybe throw sand in the hinges of both the closet door and the main door so that they become extra noisy.
So while you're
Let's just
sort of-
vandalize
while
the
you-
shit out of
while
the
you're
ship.
sort of like talking through all that stuff, Ix is gonna be like, "Whatever, you're adorable."
Lynn's just going to bed.
She's gonna get out a draw of string and tie some bells to it, like which I literally bought when I made my character. Really, and she'll just tie some in front of the door.
But MacGyver!
Well, that works too, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, Ix, I love you so much.
It's good to watch your back when you're taking sniping positions, so I keep this sort of thing around.
Alright. You all want Cub to watch the vents then?
Yeah,
Yes.
sounds like a good idea.
Alright, Cub. You hear anything? You come tell us if you hear anything coming out through the vents.
Even with all
Cub
this
just
set
goes
up,
to the casino.
even with all this set up, Maddie will sleep in front of the door so that she's unavoidably the first one encountered if someone comes in.
Good. I like it.
Oh, God.
The rest of you pass into deep, if uneasy, sleep.
And never wake up.
No, you totally
The
wake
ship
up.
crashes.
Oh my
To
god.
die.
Oh, that was a quick campaign.
You wake up to a loud knock on the door and a cry of, "Brother!"
Were those words?
Yeah, it was one word. Brother!
Oh my God!
Boom!
No!
Ding, 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 ding. Brother!
No!
And Maddie leaps up with a sword drawn.
Jorvar, to his credit, like, give me a dex check.
Ooh!
Give me a dex save.
Save, really? Alright. 6.
He
Take a
like,
stress.
like without like taking his gaze off of Ries, just sort of very quietly like draws his scimitar and like flips your sword out of your hand and catches it, and then turns it upside down and hands it back to you.
Even
Brother!
surprised, wow.
It's just like stumbling on a bed, fumbling for a crossbow, there's like sword play happening, and then she's like, "Motherfuck, what are you doing?"
We'll take the sword back and kind of blink at it a little bit.
I am astonished. I never would have thought you'd have it in you. I knew that you were capable of reaching great and terrible lows, just the horriblest, darkest, deep pits of Kyber. But I never thought you'd managed to have a murder the first time you were captain.
Yeah, it's not great, bud.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, it's very bad is the thing.
Well, blame the security guards. Then.
Are you...
Ooh,
Please.
buck stops here, buddy.
Does it? I think you know perfectly well that Father is... Oh, wait a minute. That's what this is. You're so desperate. You're just so desperate for him to pay you just the slightest bit of attention.
But I had somebody murdered.
Hey, well, I mean, did you? You can
No,
tell me. You
what
can tell
who
me.
do you take me for?
We solved it!
Yeah.
You're my brother. You can tell me.
It sounds like you had somebody murdered and made me look bad.
The cool thing is that you can keep hanging out with us now. You're not going to wind up with like a position in your house or anything since we bungled this really bad. So.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, even the best of captains could have someone get murdered if it's like premeditated. you know what I
within
mean?
12 hours of start. Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
not great.
You can't prevent someone who's dedicated to something and has researched something and knows what they're doing, if assuming that's who we're dealing with.
I'm just saying, Stad's not going to see it that way, and that means that we get.
Are
to
you
keep her.
arguing that if someone had more hours of experience as a murderer than someone with no experience as a captain could not have reasonably been expected to stop them from doing some murdering? I like it.
Sure,
But
yeah, even the most seasoned captains could still have it happen under the watch. I mean, a captain can't be everywhere at once the whole time.
With enough levels of captain, you actually get...
I mean, look, this is all very nice, but we're trying to figure out.
it's not nice at all. Someone is dead.
We're trying to figure
My
out how it
goodness.
happened and who. But unless you got something to contribute to that, we need to get back to it.
I simply wanted to let you know that regardless of what I or what the house or what Father may have to think about it, the delegations have heard about it. They didn't hear about it from you. And as a consequence, they're so angry.
Wonderful.
Mostly at each other. Maybe a little bit at you, but mostly at each other. Anyway, I just wanted to pass that little piece of information on to you. So it didn't come as a surprise because, believe it or not, I'm on your side.
Oh, shut the fuck
I want to see you continue on as long as you possibly can so that I have some degree of entertainment.
Wonderful. Well, if you'll excuse us, we got work to do.
Are you dismissing me?
Well, you are kind of in the way. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a nice trick with the sword. If I hadn't been half asleep, you never would have done it, but still a nice trick.
Do you want to get a drink?
Maybe later. We're on the job at the moment.
All right. Hey, you can keep that one. For however long that's going to last. Anyway, don't miss the breakfast. to die for. Oh, that was
Oh,
terrible.
that was in bad taste.
That was very bad taste.
Unlike the breakfast.
He turns and walks out. And fix this door!
He's got sand in it.
Well, it's been broken off the
It's
hinges.
just-
everywhere.
There is sand inexplicably, like there's piles.
What's a bone? What do
You
you
know the
get
bones
sand
were
from?
there.
Pove has absolutely
Beaches.
put piles everywhere.
X digs a few pills out of her bag and stuff
Out of
in
the-
her mouth.
Finds a pile of sand that's got some pills in the center.
I got a lot of things that need doing. Need to talk to the captain of those wonderful, wonderful guards. Need to talk to the delegations, probably both of them, but especially the one in charge of the skeletons who like staring at the
Carnathy.
moon.
That sounds like Ries.
Head
Ries
artificer.
and Ries.
And the artificer.
Arc.
Which is more important, though, talking to delegation first?
I'd like to talk to the
We're
delegation.
gonna split up and do this.
Yeah,
So who's doing the delegation then? You and...
me and the captain.
Captain
don't
has to
think-
go to that, right?
I guess he does.
But I don't know how I'd be able to talk to...
I mean, I might be able to try and smooth things over with absolutely no position of authority.
Yeah,
I've
no,
done it before.
You could make some excuse like I was incapacitated in the discovery.
You could probably
I-
convince them that you were there on his behalf.
Honestly, the captain, they're already mad at you. That's not going to change. But they might
Yeah,
like
you've
me
already
just
fucked up
fine.
pretty bad.
I've been able to pass as both religions before as well, so I might be able to smooth things over cleanly.
Okay, so you're going to talk to at least the Carnathian ones. I guess you guys are going back to the angry door. What the hell is it?
There's one alternative.
Yes.
Give me a written note to give to the lead artificer.
Yeah, he seems like the
Yeah,
sword is really.
I'll just sit in these the quarters all day. You guys can.
Well, the artificer ain't mad at him yet,
Lovely casino I hear.
It's not bad.
and we'll talk to the guard captain, I guess.
Alright, so...
Yeah, I just don't want to talk to the delegation from Thrain.
I ain't got nothing to talk to them about yet.
Literally nobody wants to talk to the delegation from
That's
Thrain.
But, I mean,
I think that I
they
will.
really seem like the type that'd be sneaky about this sort of thing. I mean, I could
They
be
are.
wrong.
They are. They'll do a lot of very bad things.
It's all sneaky.
They
like-
won't think they're bad things, but yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like they picked the least likely target. Besides, we kind of know it's probably not them.
I'm pretty certain from what I heard that it's not either the actual delegations. The problem's going to be keeping them from killing each other in the meantime.
Well, we'll work on that.
And they may still be targets.
The main thing I'm interested in is why were those skeletons up there, and who would have known they were going to be up there at that particular time and when?
Well, you said that they simply took orders from people, right? So
Exactly, yeah. So they were
either
told to
one
go
of
up
their
there.
own members or someone who managed to do the same thing.
It would be very difficult to temporarily override a skeleton, right? Like that's not.
So that's all of
Yeah.
them. I mean, as
Like
far
usually
as-
turn and rebukal, those would have been dusted. Like if they tried to and they were very organized. They weren't like running
Yeah.
away.
They are bound to certain hierarchies of Carnathi authority.
So them being on the top of the ship was no accident. It was deliberate.
If it was an override, it was an override of a very powerful nature.
Am I understanding right that basically there's only two people on this entire ship who can give them things orders, assuming that the little ones can't give themselves orders?
Two that we know of.
Two that we know of, at least. Fair
They're bound hierarchically. If there was somebody who was higher ranked than the ambassador, who secretly on board incognito, they might be able to do something. But I don't.
As far
think
as we
that's
know,
it.
though, two people. So
Yeah.
it'd be good to find out who did that, why, and if anyone else knew what was going to happen.
I'll see if I can pull that out.
I guess you guys can look into the dust, and we'll talk to the guard captain. I guess it's,
You guys knock yourselves out with all this. It sounds like a
you ought to
Great
go
time.
with her, right, to make sure nothing happens, and then we do gotta.
I mean, I don't know that I'm going to be much good to you. I'm not exactly the people-pleasing sort.
No, but I do enjoy an entourage. And
You got a
a pat on the back.
You do got a crossbow, and there's at least one person on this ship somewhere who needs a bolt stuck in him.
Yeah.
Sure, fine.
I didn't do it.
Well,
How many bulls talking to me?
You've got plenty of bolts, I thought.
Oh. Yeah, actually I do.
not the crossbow kind, not the.
Gotcha.
All right, so what are you guys doing?
Same pairs as
Same
last
group.
night?
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much the same.
Okay, what are Lynn and Ix doing?
We're going to go talk to the delegations. I'm going to crew myself up a little bit before departing.
Like put on one of the ship uniforms?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this military style where I could put some stripes on and be of a visible rank of some kind, or is it just general uniform?
It's just general.
Like
Quick,
Yes,
quick,
I'm
quick
the
reminder, you
captain
actually
now.
already stood in as his assistant with the delegations once.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So they do
you
know me,
already-
and I
you already-
was.
Yeah, you already have that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for reminding us of that.
Ix, are you just going as Ix?
Yeah.
I mean, unless
She's security
Unless
detail.
somebody wants to pretty her up, she's not like. What are you gonna do?
I mean, we could put like a
Long.
paper bag
Oh!
over your whole body
Ix is beautiful.
on the
Ix.
hypothetical axis.
Arco's all
seventh-
smiling
I was about to
right
say on the inside, but there's definitely some clots. There's, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is why she was like, I don't know that you want to send me to this, but I mean, if they want to send her, she'll go.
Sure. You make your way down to that part of the deck, and there is a bunch of noise coming from inside the conference room, inside of which is only the Thrain representatives. The two knights are arguing with the cardinal.
Okay, well, we will see ourselves in.
Sorry, what?
We'll see ourselves in.
Okay.
Hello. They're all men, right?
What?
Are they all men?
Dame Farron is a lady, but the other two are men.
She's one of the knights?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
And what? Yes. Hello. Do you have some news for us? Some.
Yes, I'm terribly sorry. My name's Oren. I'm an assistant to the captain.
Good. Someone from the captain. Can you tell us what's going to happen here? What's going on?
Unfortunately, we are still trying to sort out what happened last night. It was a dreadful disturbance. We appreciate your patience in this matter. We also wanted to see if we could talk to you if you heard anything last night around
The dame steps up, is clearly like livid, and is like, "Those damn Karnathi have sabotaged this entire mission. They've taken their obsession with death too far and are trying to pin it on us. They are vile in the extreme. Should not be aboard."
I'm terribly sorry for this difficulty. I do want to very strongly urge that we don't cast any aspersions on particular parties. We do not believe that the Karnathi were involved, but instead that there's a third party, and we are seeking out information on that, and we're hoping that we can get your help as well. It was a member of the Karnathi delegation who was murdered last night. They are unlikely to do it to themselves, but we want to ensure the safety of all members on board this ship.
The cardinal clears his throat and is like, "If I'm familiar with the occult ways of the Blood of Vol-inspired nation of Karnath, they regard life after death as some sort of special privilege, some break away from the wheel of fate. It seems as though that might have been exact opportunity for just such an individual to serve his country."
I don't know if they would honor a scribe in such a way.
Perhaps not, but perhaps, well, Mighty Knight became that horrendous skeleton lord that you have seen. Surely lesser orders became those other scattering skeletons that clatter about at every hour of the day.
Our understanding is
Well, not every hour.
Every hour. Just
the security protocols aboard the ship
such as they are.
do require that the body is isolated at this point. There will be no raising of it, which to the Karnathi is a terrible shame and pain to them. So they're not going to be happy about how this is going either. This is an unfortunate situation for everyone, and I'm hoping that we can bridge this difficulty as well as possible. If I could just ask a few questions about your experiences last night.
The Silver Flame has nothing to hide.
I know. I'm hoping that you can tell us, did you hear any disturbances in the evening?
As I said, aside from the constant pitter-patter of those horrible little bone boys.
No!
Oh, the bone boys.
No, all was well. We had retired to our quarters after a morning and afternoon of screaming. And
I'm familiar with the delegation.
retired to take our rest in anticipation of doing it all again the next day.
What time would that have been?
Discussions, such as they were, wrapped up at 6 in the evening.
6 in the evening? After that, yeah, I presume you had dinners delivered to your rooms?
Yes, indeed.
When you finish, you put your dishes outside. Do you know what time they may have picked those up?
I don't know. I didn't leave my quarters past that. We had prayers and other such devotions to attend to,
Of course.
particularly after being in the presence of such filth.
Of course. Is there anything that we can do for you?
Yes, you could arrest every member of the Karnathi delegation.
Yeah, done.
Keep them from bringing further injustice upon we and the other fine members of this otherwise lovely cruise.
I do not believe that that would be in the best interest of the peace talks.
The peace talks, as they are, they were sitting on a knife's edge to begin with. At this point, I'm of half a mind to reopen certain sections of the last war right here aboard the Dragon.
I would-
I highly recommend not doing that.
As you say. I will do as the flame guides me.
In the meantime, we will do what we can to seek a more equitable solution for everyone involved. Peace would be preferred. Thank you for your time.
Do you know the tenets of the Silver Flame, my children?
I do.
Then you know that
Not
the
it.
flame...
The flame guides us all.
The flame guides us all. The flame guides us to root out and extinguish evil wherever it can be found. And if a crew that is willing to kill its own members and raise them as undead bodyguards, then use those bodyguards to prevent other people from getting a good night's sleep, are not themselves evil. I'd be hard-pressed to figure out what was.
War, I'll tell you that. I know you want to reopen it. I was there. It's way worse than being kept up at night by walking feet, I promise you that.
That may be.
No.
But for
Please.
one night, at least, I'll sleep well.
Do you know anything about a ruby necklace?
Lynn's gonna try and read facial expressions as that gets dropped too. If they
Give me a...
Insight?
Yeah, give me an insight check.
11.
One.
One?
I forgot
No.
what happens on crit fails.
No, the cardinal doesn't react, and the two paladins are just stone-faced. Not a thing. Are we finished?
Yeah, I believe so.
Spectacular.
Thank you very much for your time. If you do need anything, please let one of the crew members know.
We shall take care of our own. I suggest that you do the same. I'm gonna get up and head to their quarters.
Okay.
Ark, Ries, what are you doing?
We're heading, I guess, to find,
If it's
Is it
allowed,
Gindra?
presume-
Gindra.
Depending on whether he's there or if he's in his
Yeah.
quarters.
The door is
Every door.
open. The door, inexplicably, like, it looks like it's like a big twist and then like the whole thing, but actually it like the wheel splits in half.
Poor guy.
I'm two now.
A beard on each side.
Yeah, basically.
Both your hats.
Yeah.
Are the beards the handles?
Each mustache is itself a handle, but it's a very big handle.
So it's a handlebar mustache.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, fuck off.
Thank you, Lobos, for being my friend. Inside, you find not only a sumptuously acquitted artificer lab, but you find sort of a turbine engine sitting in the center that interfaces with the big fire ring that encircles the very middle of the ship. Yeah.
Right.
Running around is a frayed-haired, but bulky and obviously very angry-looking dwarf. Like, he's probably just popped right out of the womb looking like angry eyebrows. He is irritated at everything that's going on at every moment. And it seems like 6 or 7 things are going on. He is just running around trying to make sure that things are
He
in
looks
order.
really busy.
He looks pretty busy, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Gindra!
It's Mendro.
Mindra. Yes.
His name's then it's Kendra.
Oh. We're here on business for the ship.
Are you the captain?
Yes, I am.
You're that Lyrandar boy that they put in charge of this thing.
That's correct.
My magnificent maiden voyage. You're the one.
That's me.
And this is the day you finally decide to come down here and discover that the hydraulics are loose, that the furnace hasn't been kept at a proper temperature,
Well,
that everything is going wrong at all times.
well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'll do what I can to make things right.
Good.
What can I do for you?
Nothing.
Great.
I'm the only one that can save us. Me.
Do you want like a glass of water or something?
No.
Okay. Well, we have a glass of water.
Right.
Are you trying to lure me out of my lab with a glass of water?
Absolutely not.
Actually, we need to analyze this here glass of water, figure out what kind of arcane properties.
Is this some sort of a prank?
No, I
Is this
understand.
some sort of
this-
April Pranks
I
Day?
understand this is not in your job description, but we have had tragedy aboard. We are trying to desperately find clues to lead us to who is responsible.
Someone's sparkling water wasn't fizzy enough.
There's been a murder on the ship. And
murder?
We think that this
Who was
may
it?
Be
That's what we're trying to find out.
Was it me?
No,
Then I don't care.
you could be next.
I could be next. I'm not going to be next.
Okay.
The ship
well,
needs
you
me.
could be.
We need to use a lab. I could research.
You
it.
need to use my lab.
Or you can help us. Either way, if you appear very busy though.
A somehow even more preposterous suggestion.
Right.
Who are you?
I served in the 33rd Breland Corps. Artificer, quartermaster.
Spectacular. There's 15 more of you.
Probably true, actually.
Not here, though.
Yeah, but not here. And somebody.
Right, what are you doing here right now, waving a glass
serve
of
the
sparkly
captain.
water at?
I serve the captain. I'm here to help find
Do you owe
out.
you a life debt or something? One of these sort of
Something
like,
like that,
okay,
yes, yes.
great.
We're here to find out what happened with the murder.
What's with your face?
You don't want to see it. Anyway.
I do now. Why won't you show me your face?
What is that blinking
What's
light
wrong
over
with
there?
your face?
God.
Yeah.
He just like pulls out a broom and starts hitting it. Ah,
Oh dear.
Sorry, it seemed important.
Right.
this whole ship is very important.
It is. I understand that.
Yes, I could use of your lab. I don't have the tools on myself to research right now what it is that might have gone into this concoction that could have been the thing that killed the person in the first place.
I'm going to identify poison using my lab to prevent another murder that could be me.
Yes.
You can use that 12th of the lab right over there. You are not to cross the invisible lines that make up your 12th of the lab.
Or was he like the robot thing, like?
Is that even are those tools you need, or?
Now that Ark's here, these are the tools that Ark needs.
There are a couple of tools that are outside the bounds of where it is that you need.
I could use that and that.
Okay, no, so here's what we're going to do. You see that beer bottle? Let's move that, like, over towards Lobos.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. All right, Bill, you're Ark. And I'm Gen, the dwarf, who is busy like all throughout the lab, and you've been confined to your portion of the lab. And so I'm busy, but you need that beer bottle. So this is red light, green light. So
Oh dear God!
you get to move, but if I see you moving, you have to
You
reset.
realize this beer is still like half full, right?
Yes.
You realize
half
this is very
empty.
likely to happen.
And so when I look, you have to freeze. It doesn't matter what position you're in. If I see you moving, you have to restart.
Why don't we
Okay.
switch it out for one of the empty
I
ones
have an
before
empty
we have a
one.
very
Fine. Yeah, that
predictable
one's fine.
disaster
What?
occur?
This is such a good idea.
Ah, he got it already!
All right, good work. All right, give me an Arcana check. You have advantage.
Oh man, I don't know.
Oh man!
Nailed it.
Okay.
You have advantage. Roll again.
Oh, I'll just.
That'd be worse than that.
12 doesn't succeed.
12 is successful. This
Okay.
isn't. This doesn't have any kind of magical or poisonous properties on it whatsoever.
Okay.
It just appears to be dust from some kind of a gem. It looks like maybe like if someone had.
Like ruby dust?
It's could be. It's clear. It's not a particular shade or anything like that. So it's probably white or gray or something like that. But it looks more like just like residue of like if there had been a gem that had been cut or something like that.
Not necessarily poisonous, not necessarily magical.
Just a regular ass gem.
Okay.
Well, why when you're
Goddamn
cutting-
ass gems.
like cutting a gem though, like that doesn't seem like something you could just casually do in a room in a ship, unless you had like tools for that, right?
Sure.
Or they did it.
There's also spells that involve crushing a gem in your hand.
Okay.
Alright,
Yeah.
so basically there's not really anything to find here. Or at least
Well,
No, there's not. There's everything that I just told
Yeah,
you.
no, that's incredibly important, valuable information.
Art keeps all of this to himself.
Yeah, so
Oh, that's not important.
I
I won't mention it to anyone.
I just jumped off the ship.
Does it seem chemically like it would be soft enough that you could crush it yourself?
I mean, the magic of the spells is you can just
Yeah,
crush it in your
Right,
hands.
so at least the gem
Requires an
itself
athletics check.
doesn't appear to be a poison, could have been something magical in nature, but we don't know, we just know a gem was crushed.
That's something that happens sometimes when you cast spells.
Right. Now, leave the lab, take Ries out, relay it to Ries. Like, we need to tell the others, but, you know, this still doesn't give us any, like, this could be the murder weapon, we don't know for sure either. Like, it's just that a gem was crushed and something happened because of this gem being crushed, but we don't know that
What
that's
kind of
necessarily.
check would it be to figure out if you knew what spell would involve crushing
That's
a
a good
gem?
question. Could I roll for another Arcana check?
Yeah.
To do what? I'm sorry, identify.
Like, what spells could come from a gem? I
That'd be a
guess?
very difficult Arcana check for you, but yes, you can make it.
I mean, no reason not to try. Especially if
Hey!
you roll that.
23?
That is not good enough.
Oh, would have needed a natural 20 then.
Even then, I'm not sure he would have gotten high enough.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
He's
would've-
level
a natural
2.
20 would have
Yeah.
been a 24.
True.
Yeah.
Alright.
Coming out of the casino comes the Baron and his entourage. He walks up to you.
Sir,
Sir the Baron.
Sir the Baron.
Meriton?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Lord.
Captain, I am honored that you would remember my humble
Of
presence.
course. Of course. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. This ship is a marvel. It is incredible.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
I feel that I am part of history
Ah.
to be here, to be a part of this experience.
And how are the games going?
Oh, I am losing a lot of money.
Well, I'm
But
sure
it
you'll
is.
make all back.
It does not matter if you win or lose. It is how you play. My father taught me this. I think he was a fool,
Oh, well, fair enough.
but it still works sometimes. Is this artificer lab? This is where the great wheel is powered.
That's correct.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Everything about this place is just incredible. And all of his yes men are just like, yes, incredible.
Yes.
This is very good, very good.
Reese is basically a yes man.
Yeah.
I think Arkansas was like, yes, yes.
Captain, I would be honored if you would share a drink with me and tell me some of the tremendous stories you must have for your times.
Oh, certainly.
See.
Well, Captain, I can go take care of the other matters while you.
You are a artificer from the war, yes?
Yeah.
I would love also stories from all social classes. These are.
I would love to, but I've got some.
Do you drink?
Yeah, actually.
Come, friends. Let us.
I got some business to attend to.
I understand.
Sorry, you know, ship's gotta.
No,
You kept flying.
You gotta go. You gotta go. I understand. Captain,
I as well am tending to matters currently that are pressing. However,
rain check.
yeah, absolutely.
Rain check.
I will lend you my time later.
I'm at your service.
Have a wonderful time.
This crew continues on.
We missed the optional content.
Why don't we just really quickly run it by Mindro? He seemed willing enough just to take a quick look at what you've put together. And
I guess a second look doesn't hurt. I mean,
He's very skilled.
seems like it. This lab's pretty impressive, actually.
Let's just.
All 1/12 of it, that's all.
Sir Mindro.
I'm no sir.
Mindro. Gen.
Oh, we're best friends now, is that it? We just
Well,
met
sure.
5 minutes ago.
Okay, what's that light over there?
That's not gonna work twice on me, boy.
It's making sound. It just seems wrong. I don't.
That's the sound maker.
I see. Learning new things every day. So we used your part of the lab and investigated a thing, but I'm not sure that we have the best eyes for it. Would you mind just taking a glance really quickly? I can see about getting a bonus.
Are you trying to bribe me?
No, simply.
Do you know how much I make?
I can find it in the ledgers, I'm sure.
I'm sure you could, and if you want, I'll help you. Look at the top. I'm the one that makes this damn ship go. Kenneth designed it. I'm the one that makes it work. I'm the artificer. I'm the magister.
Yes.
Hi, Artificer Mindrow's time is valuable. I mean,
Not sir.
Hi, Artificer, right?
Hello, artificer, yes. I'll tell you what, if I do whatever it is you're asking me to do, will you please go away?
Absolutely.
Spectacular. Everyone, are you just handing him the glass?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Well, I
tell him.
don't know what the tools are. I don't really have like a.
So Ark will run over the test Ark did. Ark will say like Ark's findings what Ark found, and be like, well, second opinion would be much appreciated.
So he like
It's one of your talents. You can clearly tell more than I could.
he like pours a measure of it into a test tube and basically puts it under like sort of a orrery type thing where there's like a number of. It's like a much larger version of those things that they use to test your vision. So he moves like one lens in and another lens in and another and an out, out. And basically just like coordinating like different kind of lenses to sort of figure out like what the makeup of it is. And you think this is related to whatever it is that killed whoever it is that's not me, that's dead?
We're pretty sure it has something to do.
Well, we found it on his hands, anyways.
This is garbage. I mean, sure, it was part of a gem at one point, probably a very nice gem, but that gem is gone, and
This is the residue, right?
You know what type of gem?
again, it would have been something very worthwhile. Many coin. Probably a diamond, perhaps an amethyst or something like that.
Well,
We don't want to take any more of your time.
Where did you find this again? It was in
again, on his hands.
on his hands. Do you know if he crushed something before?
It looks like he might have crushed it, but we can't say for sure.
But he's dead now.
Indeed.
Well, there's a great many spells that require you to crush a gem as part of the casting.
Indeed.
Would you know any?
I'm sure that I know a few, but none that I would choose to be the last spell that I ever cast. If you could figure that out, perhaps you could figure out what's going on.
Very well.
Farron and... oh wait, before that happens, give me a perception check to both of you.
Ooh.
21.
7.
Ries, you spot a couple of the Baron's cronies just sort of like taking advantage of the fact that the three of you are kind of like busy in the center. And like the doors are still open, so
Yeah.
they're like just sort of like trying to get a closer look in, like peeking, like just trying to like keep to themselves, but sort of explore the room a little bit
The
more.
inside of the room.
It doesn't look like Gen's really noticed them.
Okay. We should be going. Let's.
Right.
We need to let Mendro work. And I'm sorry, but this is off limits.
Oh,
But,
yep.
Thank you, though. Enjoy your stay. Yes. And we'll.
But the door's shut when we...
They stay open during operating hours. Maddie and Farron, what are y'all doing?
We were gonna go talk to the captain. How was your name pronounced again? Jonah? Or Joanna?
Jonna.
Jonna.
The guard captain.
Jonna, yes.
The captains are here.
Well, let's not go too far.
The sergeant.
Oh.
Let's call her Sergeant Jonna.
Okay.
You, the boys I heard is working with Captain Leandar.
Well, he ain't no boy, but he got the rest of it right.
Pardon me.
No worries.
What can I do for you?
I had a couple of questions about the guard rotation yesterday when the incident happened. When did you set the guard schedule?
I set it the day before we took off.
And how did you distribute it to the guards?
I handed it in person on paper as protocol dictates before we even boarded.
So each guard got a copy of the whole schedule or just their slot of it?
Whole schedule. Everyone, it's not a long flight and there's not a whole lot of us. Everyone knew where everyone should be at any given point in time.
Alright. Next question. Is there anyone, how long, do you all serve together as a group normally, like travel together, or is it just every time it's assignment you all get brung together from wherever you happen to be?
I'm in charge of this crew and we usually do light Randar jobs. Sometimes other stuff, but this is our usual bread and butter.
Alright. Is there anyone new on the crew? Very recently? Say,
Tomas, this is his first time. He had seemed awfully promising. He seems to be a bit rattled, but we would hope he'll make it through all right. He's the only new one, though. Everyone else is veteran as far as I'm concerned.
Fair enough. And you've selected the patrols yourself, I assume, yes?
No, I've been given who's been assigned.
Well, I mean, wait, I'm sorry, but you assigned each person...
I assign the patrols,
yes.
But the house dictates who I get to work with.
Yeah, that much I understand.
Sure.
That much I understand. What about you? Got any questions?
Listen, I think I know where this is getting, and I understand there was a bit of a breach yesterday, but I've spoken to the individual in question. Told me, just seemed like a good opportunity.
Well, you explain that. What do you mean?
Well, Silas, of course, was on patrol duty.
Theoretically.
And was coming down the hall and spotted what looked to be a perfectly good untouched dinner out there in the hall.
Outside the door of the room that was...
It was out in front of one door, I'm sure.
Oh, okay. Wasn't out there. Okay, go on. Sorry.
But once he did spot it, he thought, well, everything seems nice and quiet. Perfectly good dinner right there. Might as well enjoy it. So he may have departed from his schedule for a certain period of time to enjoy some dinner. I understand that this reflects poorly on my company, but I assure that I will deal with it internally.
You deal with that as you need to. That part of it's not my concern. Does he happen to remember what time he decided to have his little late night snack?
As I understand, it was around midnight. Would have been right as he got started. Or no, excuse me.
No.
Right before he
ended.
finished.
And these pieces of paper that the patrol routes are marked on, where are they all now?
I mean, everyone's got one. I've got one. Here, I'm happy to show it to you. She does.
And you'll take a look at it.
Looks pretty secular. Pretty reasonable routes. Reasonable distribution of guards.
All right.
Protecting known areas of concern.
Bless you. Bless you again.
Bless you.
I wondered if I'd ask you for one small favor then. Can you see if every guard still has theirs, and tell me if any of them don't have theirs anymore?
Yeah, I think I could do that. Might take a while, but I can do it.
The reason I'm asking is because I feel like from what we figured out so far, whoever did this thing, they seemed to be aware that there was going to be a certain gap in security, so to speak. They knew when your guard shift changed. They knew about certain other facts that further weakened security at that time. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is maybe someone got a hold of one of these and knew what was what.
Maybe so.
Well, anyway, thank you. And please let me know if someone's missing one, or thinks they lost track of theirs for a while, or it ain't where they left it, or anything like that. Well, unless you got something else on your mind, you should probably be going.
Were there any instructions given with regard to the Karnathi security and how to interact or not with them?
The understanding that we had with Karnathi is that this is more of an honor guard type situation. That this is something that they do regularly to impress those that they have dealings with. Certainly not the sort of thing that we prefer to have scooting around, but that said, they're usually pretty well behaved. Honestly, between you and me, it's the hotheads from Thrain you gotta usually worry about.
Understood.
Anyway.
Thank you for your time, Sergeant.
Yep.
Take care.
Good luck. What's happening? Are you reconvening?
We were going to talk to the Karnathi
Yeah, they
delegation
still
as
have one
well.
delegation.
Oh, right.
talk to
Okay.
them.
Yeah. They are in their quarters. A very large, spiky skeleton answers.
Hello.
Sedge. Which one is he?
Scarad?
Scarad.
Scarad. Hello, I'm here representing the captain. My name is Arin. I'm seeking to speak to Ambassador Sedge.
From behind the big boy calls a voice.
Big boy.
Let her in. Come on. Scarad just sort of sidles.
Oh yeah,
Off
this
to
is
the
the guy I had to
side.
squeeze past her.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is great. We're good
The
friends.
second door.
Yeah, he's got Resident Evil tank controls.
Oh no.
Poor bastard.
Yeah.
Stop, skeleton. Don't open that door.
We enter.
Sure, Sedge is sitting behind his desk, enjoying a cup of something, and doesn't get up to greet you, but raises his glass. Like, please, tell me, do you have any news whatsoever? Good news? Bad news for the Thrains?
Which would be good news.
An end to the flights?
I'm afraid none of those three. We do have news in general and a few questions, but I also wanted to express my deepest condolences to you on behalf of the captain that this tragedy has fallen aboard this ship. I assure you the crew is doing everything we can to track down what has gone wrong, and our investigation is ongoing.
Listen, the circumstances being what they are, this is about as convenient an end to some non-productive discussions as could have happened.
Fair.
I can spend the remaining few days just sort of taking in the sights, maybe playing some cards, getting a massage, and eating some award-winning pastries.
They're very good.
They are very good. Shame about Gunther. But
Yes. Do you know anyone who might have wanted to harm him? He seemed like such a kind fellow when we met.
there's the Nation of Thrain.
Yeah, they were on
and
my list.
all followers of the Silver Flame.
That was 2 through a million.
Yeah, but most of them aren't on board this airship.
Yeah.
So I'm narrowing it down to 2 to 3 people in particular. Aside from that, you couldn't ask for a better wallflower. Not a single enemy, at least personally, that I would understand.
We did have a couple of questions pursuant to our investigation. One was, it sounded like...
I'm sorry, can I offer you something?
Oh, I'm good.
It's
Thank
fine.
you very much. I appreciate the offer. There were a series of skeleton guards, and at one point in the evening, right around the time that whatever happened with Gunther happened, it appears that all of the skeleton guards went up to the top of the ship. I'm not sure what happened there.
Scarad, is that true? I certainly didn't tell him to do anything like that. Scarad didn't.
That's...
Do you have some evidence that that is indeed what happened?
There were multiple witnesses.
Yeah, multiple witnesses. It was corroborated individually by a number of people who reported it back to us.
It's pretty specific. I mean, they marched up there, looked over the edge of the
Stood
ship
in a
for
semicircle.
a good while, and then marched right back down.
Deeply distressing if it was not a direct order or a planned event.
Certainly wasn't planned. Past sundown, they would have been in the cargo hold.
So they are not intended to patrol in the evenings?
Well, no,
They're an honor guard, I understand.
they are an honor guard, yes. And as many honors as I have, I like to get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, they're not quiet.
They do a fair bit of trampling, what with being made of bones. But if I didn't send them, and Skarad didn't send them, then
Who else could have?
As a reminder, the other delegation complained about them being kept up by constant movement.
Yeah. Sitting on that one.
I suspect that your witnesses may be enthralled by the worship of the Silver Flame. It can be a insidious cult.
I agree.
What else can I do for you? I'm afraid that I have very little to offer in terms of evidence.
Do you know anything about a ruby necklace?
I'm looking for expressions on this face as well. Come on. Oh, there we go. This is what?
Inside, probably.
Insight?
Oh yeah.
It's going to be 21.
I knew that Gunther had an heirloom of some sort. You don't suppose this would have been simply robbery?
We do not believe so.
Do you know where it is now?
It's being kept safe.
Ark does.
Yeah. Mark is wearing it. Bling.
It's just like on the side of his head, like sideways.
Oh, so I have a question as Lynn thinks of an answer. Is there a safe spot on the ship that we could track whether somebody tries to break into it that Lynn's aware of? Like, there's like a vault or something?
The vault is in the captain's quarters.
Perfect. We've secured it in the vault.
It's wise. Obviously, once we disembark, I'll take possession of it to return it to his family.
Next of kin, I understand.
I'm sure he has next of kin somewhere.
Some birds.
Do we have any more questions? Like, I think we covered the big
Not
ones.
from me.
Well, thank you very much for your time. If you, oh, actually, did you hear any disturbances last night? Any kind of thing around the time that it happened?
Only when the Madani guards woke me and wouldn't tell me what's going on for hours on end.
I'm deeply sorry about that, and all of the chaos of this unexpected event.
Tut tut. I'm sure the rest of the flight will be
Far
smooth sailing.
Yeah, you found your night comfortable up until the incident.
Quite.
I have a. Well, I don't know. Never mind. Sorry.
Like,
Fair it is here.
so we've done things in the past where somebody who's not there can sort of like out of character prompt.
Okay. Well, I guess my question is, do we know if the semicircle of skeletons was located above the Thrain delegation?
I don't think we got a
Location
exact
check.
place on the deck that it was.
We asked two guards. I mean, we can just say we can just go back and say, did they know exactly?
It didn't seem to be precisely in any kind of arrangement. Remember, the size of the ship is much larger than the...
Yeah. I was just curious if they were literally stomping on top of where they were sitting.
Above Gunther.
Take that, assholes! He would have admitted that to us very quickly, I think. He would have been proud of that one.
I made him wake up with my skeletal voice.
By the way, on my 21 insight check, did he tell the truth about the necklace?
So far as you can tell, yes.
Thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions or if you'd like to get in touch with us, please see one of the crew members to seek us out. And then we head back in. And I make a note to have the captain tell the crew members, by the way, if they look for the captain's assistant or in, get me. And that's, yeah, so just in case.
X will say two things. Once we get back with the others, we should check out the cargo hold, see if we can figure out anything that might have been going on in there. I don't think we've been down there yet. The skeletons are sitting there. Maybe something. Let's take a detour on our way back to the others. I'll lead.
A tremendous explosion rocks the ship.
No! Lynn jumps off into the seat.
Nick strips her crossbow.
Well,
Where is everyone?
Arcus doesn't smoke off himself in the explosion.
Yeah.
So
sorry. All good. Just me.
We would be coming from the Carnath, like, were we heading straight back, or?
No,
we were gonna go.
Ix was gonna take us by the secret storage holds to have a look at those.
Okay.
we were talking. Was all this happening at basically the same time?
Yes.
Yeah. So we were with the captain probably still at this point.
Sergeant.
Sergeant. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just for clarity.
So that probably would have been up on the top deck.
All right.
Okay.
Top deck's here.
And we were leaving the artificer lab.
Okay.
Time to fall off.
So shortly after leaving the artificer lab, there is a tremendous explosion from behind. And looking back, you can see that the central console seems to have been detonated in such a way that the central ring has accelerated and become unstable. And sure enough, as it spins and spins, you can see less and less and less of the licks of elemental flame spinning with it, because as you two sit up on the deck, you can see that it's just amassing like a giant ball that eventually coalesces into this freed elemental who is not terrifically happy about the lot that's been dealt him in life. And I'll pick up from there.
Lynn's in the ship, so she can't jump off of it yet. But she'll find a way.
Oh, if things go appropriately, if you just stay in the ship, it will eventually fall into the ocean on fire.
Perfect. Well, you
Dreams really do come true.
Yeah.
Good game, everyone.
Good game.
We did it, guys. We stopped the ship.
Yeah, security on the ship is really just butts. It's
There's
clown shoes.
patrols on a bunch of sheets of paper.
Well, I'm sure your brother is going to be willing to forgive.
I'm done with this family.
To be fair, I'm not sure they expected the degree of duplicity going on board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you just need to have a fist fight with your brother on top of the crashed airship.
Oh,
Can we
yes!
have like a montage of like working out and like
I think
Ries
you.
just becomes a bodybuilder.
I think you have to retire to the snowy wastes and become a musher first.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we pull you back into the group, except they're all. Oh no! Then you get to say, "Oh, we are Foxhound now."
Yeah. Some of us are the
Comes-
boss for the next.
Yeah.
Which one would? Who gets to be the octopus?
What?
Well, Lynn has
I-
the most disguises.
Yes, Lynn has the most disguises.
What does that have to do with octopuses?
Decoy octopus.
What are you talking about?
We're saying that Lynn's next disguise is the DARPA chief.
You knew? Okay, I will get
I am
stuck for.
like,
I will get stuck for hours doing that if we go down this road.
I
Thank
have
you all
no
so much.
idea what's going on.
We should probably play a video game sometime.
Okay.
Let's play Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, that's a good game.
So, a class of Sniper Wolf.
Yeah.
Too easy.
Yeah. I guess Reese's.
Reese
Yes.
appearing in this
I think Ries can
Well, no,
do it.
Reese is Solid Snake.
Oh no, that's right.
yeah.
Or is it? Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Cyber Ninja, obviously.
Yes.
Some of these are like not even a challenge.
Yeah. Although I do really like the idea of the Cyber Ninja, except that instead of like doing all the cool stuff, he just like falls.
I fall over and ghosts pop out.
So either Arcus Cyber Ninja,
Wait.
That,
or is Arc Metal Gear?
yeah, Arc
Yeah.
is clearly Metal
Yeah.
Gear.
Maddie is definitely Revolver Russell.
Yes.
And then his,
One character.
There you go.
you flip your sword around, then someone cuts your hand off.
Can you practice your Ocelot meow sound, please?
Yeah, can we get a meow to sign off the stream?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Self-esteem team!
Nice.